What's up guys, this is your favorite fanfic YouTuber, the Fanfic Majesty, and welcome to another amazing video. You can follow me on Patreon for exclusive stories. 8C Chapter 201 Advertisement Fire Style, Great Fireball Technique. This is the only ninjutsu given to Sasuke by Uchiha Fugaku, and the first ninjutsu that Sasuke learned. Sasuke, who used the Great Fireball, made his father say something that Sasuke was looking forward to. As expected of my son. Seeing Qiye didn't mean to hide, Sasuke's eyes narrowed. What are you going to do, Qiye? Huh, the fireball whistled, colliding with a loud bang where Uchiha Qiye was. Suddenly, Sasuke's entire body trembled suddenly. A white skeleton appeared before his eyes. The white skeleton gave people an inexplicable fear and despair. Sasuke's heart was even more shocked. He saw Uchiha Qiye in the white skeleton looking at him unscathed. How is it possible that my great fireball doesn't work at all? In front of this white Shira, Sasuke seemed to feel his powerlessness. Qiye used Susanoo at the beginning, which really scared Sasuke, although it was only the first stage of Susanoo. But this white skeleton is like a Shira, which is daunting. Seeing the tragic situation on the night of the genocide, Sasuke was not a chick in the nest, and quickly calmed down. Sasuke, this is the power of Uchiha, Susanoo? The three-tomo Sharingan in Kai's pair of pupils has undergone a strange change. The right eye pupil Guyu is in the shape of a shuriken, while the left eye is in the shape of a black ring. Sasuke's eyes widened. He had seen the Uchiha stone tablet. Know that the three-tomo Sharingan can evolve again and call it the Mangekyo Sharingan. On the night of the genocide, Sasuke saw a different Sharingan of Itachi. And now, he saw the vision in Kai's eyes again. This is Mangekyo Sharingan. And Sasuke finds out that Kai's Mangekyo is not the same as Itachi's. Itachi and both Mangekyo are the same shape. As for Uchiha Qiye, the shape of the Guyu in both eyes is completely different. A bold thought emerged in his heart, and he murmured softly, could it be that Kai's Mangekyo Sharingan is more special than Itachi's? When you activate the Mangekyo Sharingan power, you can also use the power of Susanoo. Qiye smiled as Sasuke explained. Both belong to the Uchiha family. If Sasuke is a novice, then Qiye is an old fritter. Susanoo, I want to see what's special about Mangekyo Sharingan's power. Sasuke gritted his teeth and charged towards Qiye with Kunwu. The result is naturally self-evident, and Susanoo slapped it several meters away. Despair, a deep sense of powerlessness surrounds Uchiha Sasuke. This deep sense of powerlessness was the same as when facing Uchiha Itachi that night. Fighting against Uchiha Qiye, who owns the Mangekyo Sharingan, if the opponent hadn't kept his hand, he would have been killed in one move. Sasuke knew this very well from the brief encounter. Boom, hit the ground with a punch. Thought that he had already opened the 3-Go Yusan Sharingan. Sasuke also fantasized about being able to fight against Itachi. But the reality is that he slapped him severely. He was so powerless even when Uchiha Qiye was only defending and not attacking, let alone facing Uchiha Itachi. Uchiha Itachi has the Mangekyo Sharingan and naturally the power of Susanoo. When I encounter Uchiha Itachi now, it is like a man's arm blocking the car, and it is beyond our own power. Advertisement to go is to die. Sasuke's heart is broken. If this is the case, when will he get his revenge? He would never allow Uchiha Itachi to live freely outside. One more second of Uchiha Itachi's life, one more second of humiliation for Uchiha Sasuke. Master Qiye, please also teach me how to activate Mangekyo Sharingan and how to use Susanoo. Thinking of this, Sasuke knelt down to Qiye again. Now he has 3-tomo Sharingan, and he is only one step away from Mangekyo Sharingan. Mangekyo Sharingan who wants to fight against Itachi, only Mangekyo Sharingan can compete with him. Sasuke even felt that Qiye was stronger than that man Uchiha Itachi. In the face of revenge, he can give up any dignity and face. Qiye is a Hokage consultant, and he doesn't think it's anything when he calls Mr. Qiye. It's just that Sasuke, who has always been tsundere, doesn't usually address others with respect. A little boy kneels in front of you, will Qiye agree? No. The easiest and most practical way to get stronger is to let Sasuke sleep with him. But Qiye doesn't have any hobbies in this area, and he's almost done with some pointers. Sasuke, you now have 3-tomo Sharingan, it is not difficult to open Mangekyo with your qualifications. Hearing this, Sasuke's heart shuddered, and he immediately thought that Master Qiye is going to teach me how to activate the Mangekyo Sharingan. That's great. The way Mangekyo opens is based on his own emotional ups and downs. The stronger Uchiha's emotions, the greater the ups and downs, the greater the chance of opening Mangekyo Sharingan. As for Mangekyo's ability, it also depends on the person. Almost every clan who opens Mangekyo Sharingan has different abilities. Qiye crossed his arms around his chest and said lightly. He left all theoretical knowledge to Sasuke. As for how to do it, that's up to him. Knowing something about Sharingan, Sasuke is already quite excited. Because of the Uchiha clan, some related books have been banned by the senior officials of Konoha. The huge Uchiha clan Sasuke didn't know who to ask. All he could think of was Uchiha Qiye. Thank you, Mr. Qiye. Sasuke saw his own path to becoming stronger. A clear path is better than his aimless. Before, he was running around like a headless fly. Is it emotionally stimulating? Qiye smiled. Ruzi can be taught. With a flash in his mind, Uchiha Qiye suddenly thought of an interesting thing. By the way, Sasuke, there is another way for you to gain strength quickly. Do you want to try it? As long as I can gain strength, I'm willing to do anything. Very well. Do you know Orochimaru? Orochimaru? One of the legendary Sannin who killed 3rd Hokage's murderer. These things have been rumored in the village. How could Sasuke not know? He just doesn't understand why Qiye mentions this betrayal. Seeing Kai's inexplicable smile, Sasuke felt a little flustered for some reason. When you practice with Orochimaru, you will quickly gain strength, and that strength is not even inferior to Mangekyo Sharingan. Not losing the power of Mangekyo Sharingan, Sasuke was stunned, and was extremely excited. But what Sasuke is worried about is that Orochimaru is a traitor, but he doesn't care. Will the other party really take him in? Seeing that Sasuke hesitated, Qiye smiled and said, "Why, don't you want to be a traitor?" Chapter 202 Advertisement. Looking at Sasuke's dodging eyes, Qiye smiled and said, "Why, don't you want to be a betrayal?" "No, Lord Qiye, as long as I can get power, it doesn't matter if I follow the devil." Sasuke told Qiye what was in his heart. He was just worried about what the other party would think. Uchiha Qiye simply snorted. Of course Sasuke didn't know, Orochimaru had been coveting him for a long time. The bloodline boundary of the Uchiha clan is something Orochimaru dreams of. Not to mention Sasuke's young body. It doesn't matter if Sasuke can gain power, kill Uchiha Itachi, betray or not. He doesn't even care what the world is like. In this case, I will find a time for you to meet. By the way, with me, you will not appear as Konoha Rebellion. Just kidding. What is Kai's status now? Even if Sasuke follows Orochimaru, he's not a word as Hokage's advisor. Who will go after Sasuke? Then I will trouble Master Qiye. Sasuke bowed to Qiye and left. Sure enough, this time it didn't come in vain. Through his fight with Uchiha Qiye, it can be said that he has gained a lot. Not only know how Sharingan evolved, but also Susanoo and how to control this power. And, most importantly, he can gain strength and make himself stronger. This is what Sasuke is most excited about. As for Orochimaru killing 3rd Hokage, what does it have to do with him? Now Sasuke completely trusts Qiye, and believes that Qiye doesn't need to lie to him. To say that Orochimaru can give him power is to give him power. With this in mind, Sasuke is full of hope for revenge. He glared ahead, his hands clenched into fists. Uchiha Itachi, you wait for me, your life will be mine sooner or later. On the other side, Qiye clapped his hands. The last time he traded with Orochimaru was when Orochimaru was interested in Sasuke. Besides, Orochimaru killed 3rd Hokage at his own will. Recommending Orochimaru to Sasuke was just a favor. Come out, watch there for a long time. Qiye played with the kunai in his hand and said lightly. Tisk tisk, as expected of Qiye-kun, you were discovered so quickly. A gloomy figure emerged from behind the big tree. The man with gray hair and a pair of glasses was exactly. When Sasuke performed the great fireball technique, Qiye sensed his presence. It wasn't revealed at the time. What about Orochimaru? Doesn't he want to see his favorite successor? Smile coldly. Don't worry Qiye-kun, Lord Orochimaru will be here after a while. What Kabuto didn't expect was that Qiye took the initiative to recommend Orochimaru to Sasuke, and he was obviously on Konoha's side. Is it good for Konoha to have Sasuke follow Orochimaru? No, not at all. However, Kabuto didn't know that Qiye was just doing a favor. After a while, a giant snake wriggled in the forest. Orochimaru crawled out of the snake's bloody mouth. Orochimaru's appearance is still so disgusting. Oops, Qiye-kun, long time no see, you seem to be very active lately. Oh, are you Danzo them? That's their damn, Orochimaru. Advertisement. Both of them were ashamed, they didn't expect Uchiha Qiye to say it so easily. Danzo, Homura, and Kaharu are also characters from the same period as the 3rd generation. It seems to be solved easily by Uchiha Qiye, and he Orochimaru. It took a lot of effort to deal with a 3rd Hokage. In Orochimaru's mind, Uchiha Qiye is the only one who can do it so lightly. I'm afraid, Qiye is already a very terrifying existence in Orochimaru's heart. This is the man he can't mess with. If you are provoked, I am afraid that you will not even have to do the experiment. In front of Uchiha Qiye, Orochimaru always behaved very cautiously. It seemed that he could see what Orochimaru was thinking. Qiye smiled lightly. Mr. Orochimaru, don't be so restrained, aren't we all partners before? We can't judge heroes based on strength. Orochimaru. Hee. By the way, Orochimaru, I have already agreed with that kid Sasuke, you can go to your place anytime. I know, thank you Qiye-kun. There was not much joy on Orochimaru's face, which surprised Qiye. Hey, Orochimaru, aren't you interested in Sasuke's body? Swish, the wind roared, and the wind blew the trees rustling. Orochimaru licked his lips with his long tongue. Qiye-kun, since I met you, I changed my view of the world. Qiye couldn't help but shudder when he heard this. This Orochimaru wouldn't have that kind of hobby. My little Uchiha actually made him Orochimaru change his view of the world. Qiye couldn't help but doubt himself, does he have such great magic power? Orochimaru continued. Sasuke's body is not what I'm after, he is a test in my eyes, I want to see how far his wind can blow. Tisk tisk, Orochimaru's thoughts were completely sublimated. Isn't that what Orochimaru thought later in the original book? It seems that the appearance of Qiye brought Orochimaru to this stage in advance. Orochimaru understands that science is the primary productive force. Nothing drives him more mad than science. Of course, Qiye-kun, I'm also looking forward to your wind. To give Sasuke the power to surpass Uchiha Itachi, Orochimaru is confident. By the way, Qiye-kun, you know this organization. Speaking of Akatsuki, even Orochimaru's expression instantly became extremely solemn. Everyone in Akatsuki is a character that makes him fearful. You mean the organization that Uchiha Itachi belongs to? I have heard a little. This is just Kai's humble statement, he just can't understand it. I used to be in that organization. Their target is the tailed beasts scattered all over the world in Jinchuriki. Qiye-kun, you have to be careful of them. Well, it's really a little tricky. Qiye flat Kaido. This Orochimaru was very puzzled, but he sincerely reminded him. I just don't know if Qiye can hear it. By the way, Qiye-kun, I played against the leader of Shao, and I was surprised that the leader of Shao had the legendary eyes of Rinnegan. Oh, yes, that's quite surprising, Orochimaru. I couldn't help but complain in my heart, Qiye-kun, I can't see the slightest surprise from your expression. Qiye-kun, you Konoha have to be careful, Shao has already started to act, Konoha's 9 tails is one of their targets. Orochimaru and Qiye talked for a long time, and then Orochimaru's body slowly melted into the ground. The long tongue licked his lips and whispered softly, Sasuke-kun, I'm looking forward to your arrival. The corner of Kai's mouth outlined a smile. Shao, have you finally started to act? Chapter 203 Advertisement Akatsuki, are you finally starting to act? The organization that scared the world around has finally taken action. Because Akatsuki's members are made up of S-class rebels from various countries. The land of the earth, somewhere in the open field. 2 strangely dressed men are walking slowly. The cloak of black robe and red cloud hangs on the body, and the card is full. These 2 are Akatsuki's members, Uchiha Itachi and Hokage Kisame. And this time their target is 4 Tails Jinchuriki, Lao Zi. Because the masked man Obito is secretly controlling, let Payne advance the action of capturing the tailed beast. And don't stick to the form. In other words, as long as it is a tailed beast or a Jinchuriki, it can be caught one by one. In the original book, Akatsuki was captured and sealed from 1-tailed Jinchuriki Gaara. But this time the action is different, they are not stuck in the order from 1 tail to 9 tails. But as long as it is a tailed beast or a Jinchuriki, they will all be caught. Of course, the order of the seals cannot be changed, from 1 tail to 9 tails. But those caught first can be locked up or sealed, etc., and then they will be sealed one by one when it is their turn. Nagato, who owns Rinnegan and belongs to the Uzumaki clan, lacks the sealing technique, and he can do anything without killing Jinchuriki. The target of Itachi and Kisame this time is the 4 tails Jinchuriki of the land of earth, Lao Zi. Old Zaiban is Iwagakure's ninja, and left the village because of a disagreement with 3rd Tsuchikage Onogi. The other party was Jinchuriki, and Onogi was helpless. As long as Lao Zi didn't do anything that endangered the village, Oyemu would just let it go. Old Z had red hair, even a bright red beard, and was short in stature. The appearance has its own characteristics, and others can recognize it at a glance. Having been implanted with 4 tails since childhood, Lao Zi has not become a perfect Jinchuriki after assiduous practice. But he can also master the power of 4 tails, and he also knows the real name of 4 tails, Sun Wukong. Itachi, this guy is the 4 tails Jinchuriki in intelligence. Standing in front of Itachi and Kisame was a small red-haired old man. Kisame took out the Samahata on his back and pointed at old Z of 4 tails Jinchuriki and said contemptuously, it's a bit troublesome not to kill him, so which arm should I cut off first? Tisk tisk, that's a really good question. Such self-questioning and self-answering made Lao Zi stunned. The sky was dark and cloudy, and it seemed that a heavy rainstorm would come after a while. Lao Zi was even more shocked when he saw these two men dressed in strange clothes. The black robe and the red cloud are that mysterious organization. Damn, how did the people of this organization find me? What are you doing here? Lao Zi frowned and stared straight at the two of Kisame. What's the matter? Please come with us. No, it's not so much you, but the four tails in your body. Kisame showed her shark-like teeth, and her expression was very ferocious. Sure enough, the purpose of these guys is tailed beasts. Lao Zi couldn't think of others coming to him because of other things. Opposite is that mysterious organization. Lao Zi dare not be careless. Oh, I'm too old to walk, we will treat the elderly kindly. I don't know if you will go directly with us or if you want me to drag you along. Kisami's dead fish-like eyes have already locked on Lao Zi. As long as he wants to, he can shoot at any time. Four tails is already his prey. Young people, it's not good to underestimate the consequences of old people. Advertisement chatter. Kisame got impatient and asked Uchiha Itachi next to him. Mr. Itachi, this guy is too loud, I'll shut him up first. Itachi didn't answer, and when he saw Kisame rushing up, he reminded. Kisame, remember, treat the elderly well and live. Clear. I saw Kisame grin and couldn't help but complain about their leader. Tisk tisk, the boss is really difficult to do, the conditions are so harsh, and you have to live. Itachi is also ready to shoot at any time, because Payne said it. If you encounter a Jinchuriki or a tailed beast, resolve the battle quickly without delaying. Originally, Kisame wanted to fight four tails Jinchuriki alone, but now he has to give up. Lava style, burning river rock technique. Lao Zi's shot was unambiguous, and he spit out multiple magma balls from his mouth to attack Kisame, who was flying towards him. He didn't even want to let go of Itachi on the side. Lava style is Four Tails' specialty, and Lao Zi has already attached great importance to these two. Borrowed chakra from Four Tails right away. Tisk tisk, it really is a guy who spit out lava. Seeing these magma balls made Kisame even more excited. To say that he was excited, it would be better to say that the Samahata in his hand was ready to move. Click, click, the bandages tied to Samahata quickly burst, revealing Samahata's spiky body. The sharp teeth like sharks are even more eye-catching. Cha-cha-cha, Samahata's grim mouth closed repeatedly, looking quite excited. Bang bang bang, the magma ball was quickly absorbed by Samahata, turning into black soil and falling down in pieces. Lava style is a blood-based boundary formed by the combination of fire and earth nature chakra, and Four Tails is the master with this unique power. As the Four Tails Jinchuriki, Lao Zi can use lava style to perfection. See your magma fireball absorbed by Kisami's weapon. Lao Zi was amazed, his eyes had already locked on Samahata in Kisami's hands. That weapon is weird, can it absorb chakra? Ya. Samahata, who absorbed the magma ball, seemed extremely excited and jumped up and down. Kisame grinned. Oh, I haven't seen Samahata so excited for a long time. It seems that the other party's chakra is very suitable for your appetite. Then, this time, I will make you full. Kisame stroked Samahata lightly, and Samahata nodded quickly in agreement. Kisame can dodge the magma ball easily with Samahata, Itachi dodges with his wonderful movement. The heart was shocked by the power of Jinchuriki. Not a perfect Jinchuriki, but it has been able to use the power of the tailed beast to such a degree. Jinchuriki is a strange being. Water style, burst water rush. A majestic chakra came out of Kisami's body, and Kisame folded his hands and jumped upwards. Gather the chakra at the throat and spray a pouring jet of water towards the ground. In a few breaths, the place where the three of Kisame, Itachi, and Lao Zi were located had become a lake. All three were standing on the water. Silicone with a huge chakra also has the power to change the environment and can create a lake in a dry area. This time, it's my home court, Kisame chuckled. This guy actually created a lake, what a huge chakra. Even as Jinchuriki, Lao Zi was shocked at this moment. Do humans really have such a huge chakra? At 666 Chapter 204. Advertisement for the huge lake displayed by Kisame water style, Four Tails is quite depressing. As a Jinchuriki, chakra is naturally huge, but what he didn't expect was that Kisame, as a human being, a ninja would have such a huge chakra. And the Itachi in the distance pales in comparison to Kisami's chakra. At least in the eyes of the Four Tails Old Purple, Kisame is currently the most difficult person. Tisk tisk, Jinchuriki is really weird, but to a certain extent, I can also be called a tailed beast, and others call me a tailless beast. Tailless beast. Lava-style chakra mode. In an instant, Lao Zi's whole body was entangled with this high-temperature lava, and the mere lake water was only evaporating in front of him. This is not so much the lake water, but the saliva that Kisame spit out. In lava-style chakra mode, whether it is ninjutsu or taijutsu, the strength will be greatly enhanced, and everything that comes into contact can be melted. Kisami's eyes narrowed. Tisk tisk, it's a little tricky. Swish, the dark red figure moved, and a large amount of water vapor was emerging from the lake. It's all evaporated from hot lava. Old Z's figure instantly disappeared in front of Kisame. Wrapped in hot lava, he punched Kisame directly. Being hit by a punch with lava, it is either dead or wounded. Powerful enough to rival Akainu's Dark Hound. Go to hell, Akatsuki's scumbags. I saw Lao Z roared, and his fist hit Kisami's heart directly. Babble, I don't know when. Samahata appeared in front of Kisame, and Lao Z's punch hit the Samahata thorn directly. Shish. The lava fell off, and only touched it for an instant. Lao Z felt that the chakra in his body was losing a lot. The figure swooped backwards. Looking at himself, more than half of the chakra on lava-style chakra mode and the magma it covers have been pulled away. The whole body of magma is sliding down on the lake surface at a certain speed. Black soil is formed, and a large amount of water vapor rises out. Lao Z was panting heavily, his face paled slightly, and his expression was even more solemn. The instant he had just been in contact with Samahata, Lao Z felt that his body was about to be hollowed out. Damn, that annoying weapon, the speed at which it absorbs chakra is just horrible. If he stayed for a while longer, Lao Z felt that his chakra would be sucked by Samahata. Just kidding, Samahata sucked the amount of chakra from 8 tails in one go. Samahata, who had been drinking chakra, looked extremely excited and jumped up and down. Oops, I haven't seen Samahata so excited for a long time. I'll definitely use you to carry that old guy back to the base. Fire style, impatience technique. Before Lao Z fully recovered, Itachi in the distance took the lead in launching an attack. Sharingan opened suddenly, locking 4 tails Lao Z. The pair of Scarlet 3 Tomo Sharingan made 4 tails Old Purple stunned. Sharingan. It turns out that this kid is the famous Uchiha Itachi who slaughtered the Uchiha clan. This time, it's pretty tricky. It seems that those in Akatsuki are not ordinary goods. Old Z used to think that Kisame was the toughest opponent, and now, Uchiha Itachi is also among them. The biggest nemesis of lava style is not so much water style, but Kisame. Mr. Itachi, you can't help but take action. Several fireballs galloped towards the 4 tails Old Purple. Advertisement at this time, the chakra tunic appears. Lao Z has already exposed 4 tails, and the whole body is dark red. Facing the impatience Hanabi ball, Lao Z had no intention of dodging. Even if the fireball contained a shuriken, Lao Z used the dark red chakra code to escape. Kisame clenched Samahata in his hand and chuckled. Mr. Itachi, compared to you, my ability is more suitable for dealing with him. Water style, big burst of water. Together with the water of the lake, a huge ellipsoid-shaped water prison was formed to trap the half-tailed beast like Old Z in it. It's not over yet. In the water it's Kisami's world. Both speed and power are incomparable. In an instant, he came to the front of Lao Z. With a wave of Samahata, Lao Z flew several meters away. In this water polo, Lao Z couldn't escape no matter how. That is, with this wave, the amount of chakra of the 4 tails on Lao Z's body was sucked away in an instant. Lao Z also returned to his normal human form. In this water polo, it was very difficult for him to even breathe. Moreover, the water polo moves with Kisami's movement. If Lao Z wants to escape from this water polo, he must defeat Kisame. Change your color. Are Shao's people so terrifying? Son, are you ready? I'm going to be completely tailed beast. Ola, puff. Old Z, who was in the water polo, wanted to roar. But he seems to have forgotten his environment. He opened his mouth and took a sip of water. Kisame saw black lines all over the end. Jinchuriki's brain circuit is really strange. Even so, it doesn't prevent Lao Z from turning into a beast. Boom, a huge red figure appeared in front of Kisame. The water polo was instantly broken and exploded. It was also quite shocking to see the full body 4 tails Kisame. The corners of his mouth rose slightly, and he murmured softly. This is 4 tails, it's really cute like a monkey. Shao's demons, Lao Z. I am now completely tailed beast. Let Sun Lai send you to hell. Bang bang bang. Da da da. After a fierce battle, Kisame beat Four Tails Jinchuriki back to Jinchuriki's appearance with his water-style advantage. And Lao Zi, already in a half-dead state, completely fainted. In this operation to capture Four Tails, Itachi didn't take much action at all and made soy sauce all the way. The ferret who played the soy sauce still put a fire-style impatience technique. Kisami's chakra was also consumed by the battle with the Four Tails. But because of Samahata, Kisame quickly recovered. He used Samahata to carry Lao Zi and said something in his mouth. Aiya, it is indeed Four Tails Jinchuriki, it took me a while. Mr. Itachi, you have also seen that this guy's ability is more suitable for me to shoot, because it is related to Jinchuriki. Your illusion is almost useless. Ah, indeed, bring Jinchuriki back to the base, Kisame smiled. I don't know what kind of prey the other people hunted. When he and Itachi caught Four Tails, they can't be sealed immediately, they must be sealed from One Tail. One Tail is in Sanagakure, if Kisame remembers correctly, that kid Deidara went hunting. Oh, that art kid who plays explosions, can you do it? Thinking of Deidara, the art duo in Akatsuki, Kisame couldn't help but complain. Swish, the cloudy skies suddenly started pouring rain. Kisame carried Four Tails to a cave for shelter from the rain. Itachi looked up at the sky and let the rain beat his body, wondering what he was thinking. Chapter 205 Advertisement Under the pouring rain. Uchiha Itachi looked up at the sky, wondering what he was thinking. He has always been indifferent and expressionless, and others can't see his true thoughts. Kisame simply said something. Mr. Itachi, why don't you come to shelter from the rain? You'll catch a cold if you get in the rain. What? Kisame and Itachi were both moved at the same time. It was their leader Payne using a secret technique to summon them. It was time for a meeting. Somewhere in a dark cave, a few camouflage illusory figures stood on the huge stone finger. A pair of Rinnegan eyes looked around. Everyone is here. How about Itachi, Kisame, Four Tails? Kisame. With Itachi and I, what is Four Tails? It's already half dead. Kisame spoke with a somewhat proud look. Fine, so what about Deidara, your target, One Tail? Deidara. Boss, Big Brother Sasori and I have only just arrived in the Land of Winds, and it's still a long way from Sanagakure. You're going too fast. Deidara's heart was full of complaints. That's it? They didn't even see the appearance of One Tail. The boss asked him to bring back the tailed beast. Is it something a ninja can do without meeting? Deidara also wants to play art at Sanagakure. Ha ha ha, little Deidara, this is your excuse, I'm afraid you can't do it. Hidan on the side couldn't help sneering. Shut up, you zombie, take care of your own business. Hidan. Okay, stop arguing, Deidara, One Tail is the first step of the seal. Without One Tail, the seals of other tailed beasts cannot be carried out. You must complete this task immediately. Don't worry, boss, I am most familiar with Sanagakure, One Tail can't escape. The puppet Sasori also spoke at this time. Sasori is from Sand Shinobi and knows the Sanagakure situation very well. Deidara is an artistic guy, but with Sasori around, Payne has absolute confidence in One Tail's capture. Sasori's art is different from Deidara. Sasori's pursuit of timeless art has been achieved. And Deidara's pursuit of instant art, never ending. Boom. The art of exploding fleeting moments is as simple as that. It exploded and it was cool, and it exploded all the time. This is the noble art of Deidara. After One Tail, there is Two Tail. Two Tails are in charge of the zombie duo Hidan, Kakuzu. Payne turned to Hidan and asked them, Hidan, Kakuzu, how's the progress of capturing Futuro? Hidan. Kakuzu. The two were silent for a while. Seeing the silence of the zombie duo, Deidara did not forget to come out and mock. Yo, dead zombie, don't even know where the tailed beast is. Hidan is about to get into a fight with Deidara. Kakuzu stopped immediately. Kakuzu is Master Akatsuki's financial power. Boss, things are a little strange about her way? Oh, what's so strange? They know that the information on Jinchuriki is quite clear. Advertisement know that the second tail is sealed in a female ninja named Wooden Golem in Cloud Shinobi Village. And, by Wooden Golem is a perfect Jinchuriki, but not long ago, there was unfortunate news from Cloud Shinobi Village. That's when Neo Jinchuriki died in a mission, sacrificed? Even if it was a camouflage phantom, Tiandao Payne's body was startled. If Jinchuriki dies, it will take a long time for the tailed beast to revive. Damn it, why does it happen at this time? You must have just received this information. Logically speaking, with Wooden Golem as the perfect Jinchuriki, his strength is naturally not underestimated, so how could he fail in the mission? At this time, I felt that the figure slowly emerged from the soil, and the whole body merged with the earth. Indeed, Futao Jinchuriki is dead. It was confirmed in Cloud Shinobi Village at this time, and her mission seems to be related to Konoha? Is it related to the leaves? All the well-known members fell into deep thought? It was in the Skyline Canyon in the Land of Fire, and all the Cloud Shinobi ninjas, including Wooden Golem, were wiped out. On the Konoha side, there were only 2 Anbu corpses. What? Everyone was startled. Did Konoha take out a bunch of Cloud Shinobi including Wooden Golem for such a small price? In addition to Hokage, those who can compete with Wooden Golem, those high rises are Jiraiya, one of the legendary Sannin, and several elite Jonin. Payne couldn't think of any other ninja who could compete with the two-tailed Jinchuriki. Or maybe the ninjas of Konoha set a trap there beforehand and set up a barrier to be able to do such a thing. After all, this battle took place in the Land of Fire, and it was Konoha's home court. And not long ago, the war between Konoha and Cloud Shinobi in the Kingdom of Frost spread in the ninja world, and finally ended in Konoha's victory. Although the scale of the war was small, it also discredited Cloud Shinobi Village, the first ninja village in the ninja world. In this war, Konoha was in the limelight. It will take a long time for Iwai's resurrection, but Akatsuki can't wait any longer. There is another way, just need to find a small part of chakra of Iwai, and the seal can be carried out as usual. Tiandao Payne pondered for a while, and said calmly, Hidan, Kakuzu, the task of finding Iwai chakra in the ninja world is handed over to you, and don't forget to capture other Jinchuriki. The Shaoji meeting ended here, and those camouflage phantoms dissipated one after another. Kisame and Itachi in the distance opened their eyes when the rain had stopped outside. Tisk tisk, I really got some good news, Iwai Jinchuriki actually died. Kisame grinned. Itachi, your village is amazing. Third Hokage also died under Orochimaru's hands. Itachi knew that third Hokage died under Orochimaru's hands. It's time to go back and have a look, Kisame, after returning the 4 tails to the base, come back to Konoha with me and capture the 9 tails. Itachi's scarlet pupils looked into the distance and said lightly. 9 tails, the strongest tailed beast. Samahada also wants to try its chakra taste. According to the information, 9 tails Jinchuriki is still a little devil, it's interesting. In a few days, the land of the earth, Iwagakure, Lord Tsuchikage, it's not good, 4 tails Jinchuriki was taken away by Shao. Onogi's face sank. They, Iwagakure, had worked with Akatsuki once, but what he didn't expect was that Akatsuki really took a shot at Jinchuriki. Although Lao Zi disagreed with him, he had already left the village. But it's their Iwagakure ninja after all, wearing Rock Shinobi's forehead protector. It's like you can only scold yourself for your own things, and others don't have the qualifications. No matter how rotten things are, they can't be sent to the enemy's hands. The capture of Lao Zi also represents the incompetence of their Rock Shinobi, and they will be ridiculed by other powers in the ninja world. A great country, even a Jinchuriki cannot protect it. Onogi's thin body floated in the air, clenching his fists. Angrily said, Damn it's Akatsuki, don't you look down on this old man like me. Chapter 206. Advertisement Inomu said angrily, Damn it's Akatsuki, don't you take this old man in your eyes? They Iwagakure and Akatsuki have cooperated many times, and this time, they grabbed Jinchuriki and grabbed the hands of their Rock Shinobi. Isn't this the flood that washed the Dragon King temple? How could Rock Shinobi swallow this breath? The next second, Onogi let out a scream. Oops, oops, my old waist. The Lois on the side is full of black lines, don't be so excited when you are old. Akatsuki's action to capture the tailed beast was stagnant for a long time because of the incident of 2-tailed Jinchuriki being taken from Wooden Golem. They never thought that the first thing to hang was the perfect Jinchuriki by Wooden Golem. The ability to kill the perfect Jinchuriki is probably also a cage-level strength, or an S-level betrayal like them. But the place where Wooden Golem died was in the Land of Fire, and there was also the body of Konoha Anbu at the scene, which is very intriguing. The Land of Water, Kirigakure, Ching, Master Yuan, the latest news, the group of guys who control 4th Mizukage has started to act again. Yuan Shi's empty eyes stared into the distance, his brows slightly wrinkled. Shao. Speaking of Akatsuki, they, Mist Shinobi and Akatsuki, also have an undeniable hatred. The 4th Mizukage was controlled by the Akatsuki organization, and during this period, the horrors of the Bloodmist village were created. Fortunately, it was discovered by the Green Eyes, and the development of Mist Shinobi returned to the right track. Otherwise, if you continue to be ruled by this terrifying power, then their country of water, Kirigakure, may have to be removed from the 5 countries. When future generations mentioned Kirigakure, the Land of Water, it was probably already a piece of history at that time. Damn it's Akatsuki, we Mist Shinobi will never let them go. Master Yuan's old voice followed. Among Akatsuki's members, there is one of their Kirigakure S-class rebels. Hoshigaki Kisame, the owner of the sword Samahada, one of the 7 former ninja swordsmen. Now Mist Shinobi's 7 members of the ninja sword have been disintegrated, and even the owner of the beheading sword has left the village without beheading and has become a rebellious ninja. The source of all this is Mist Shinobi's blood fog policy, and the real murderer is Akatsuki. During the Third Ninja World War, The 7 ninja swordsmen also united Isshin to fight against Konoha. Although they were broken up by Guy's father Might, at least they were still working for Mist Shinobi at that time, and they were all united. Not long after the Third Ninja War, everything changed. Just because of that man, Uchiha Obito, Rin was hunted by Mist Shinobi's ninjas and died under Kakashi's rakery. Of course, Obito had no idea that Madara was behind it all. He vented this hatred on Mist Shinobi, controlled the 4th Mizukage, and made Kirigakure so smoky and panicked. These past events are a shame for Kirigakure. The world only knows that Kirigakure has the title of the village of Blood Mist, but they don't know the origin of this title. The shadow of a village is controlled by the enemy, which is definitely a shame for a big country. If it spreads out, the world will laugh at the country of water and laugh at Kirigakure. How could this kind of humiliating history of Kirigakure be known to outsiders? Yuan Shi blocked all news about 4th Mizukage. Therefore, the development of Kirigakure has gradually entered the right track. Master Yuan, the information I got this time is that the 4 Tails Jinchuriki of the Land of Earth was captured by Xiao's people. It seems that Xiao's target is Jinchuriki. Terumi Mei on the side frowned, thoughtful. Right now they don't have 3 tails in Kirigakure, nor are they on target. When the genin world is in the form of, it is extremely pessimistic. Cheng had a doubt in his heart. Advertisement, Master Yuan, you said that the 3 tails thing was also done by Xiao, although all the blame is directed at Konoha, but we still haven't found any conclusive evidence. Both Terumi Mei and Yuan Shi were lost in thought. It's hard to say, but Akatsuki's members also include Konoha's ninjas, from the previous Orochimaru to the current Uchiha Itachi, all of them are ruthless characters. Cheng's brain flashed a flash of light and thought of something extremely important. And this important matter was delayed by their Kirigakure for a long time, and they did not respond to each other for a long time. By the way, Master Yuan, there was news from Cloud Shinobi that they would form an alliance with our Mist Shinobi to deal with Konoha. HMPH, it's ridiculous, I saw Master Yuan snort softly. The war between Konoha and Cloud Shinobi in the Kingdom of Frost spread throughout the ninja world, and as a result, Cloud Shinobi was defeated. All of a sudden, Cloud Shinobi thought of the alliance again, isn't it ridiculous? Since ancient times, the allies have not had a good end. Whether it is a defeat or a victory, there is nothing good for both sides. If they fail, both sides will be suspicious of each other. And the victory will also be a big fight because of the uneven distribution of the spoils. Everyone thinks about themselves and their own village, who cares about others? Ow, don't worry about Cloud Shinobi, we don't care about Cloud Shinobi and Konoha, let them play by themselves. Understood, Master Yuan, I will not reply to Cloud Shinobi. Yuan Shi's empty eyes looked the same as Terumi Mei. He whispered softly, Terumi Mei, don't you still have a mission? I saw Terumi Mei lightly smile. Kaido. Yes, Master Yuan, then I'll take my leave. Cheng Neng could see the meaning of Yuan Shi, and he deliberately set aside Terumi Mei. Master Yuan, what is it that you deliberately set aside Terumi Mei? Cough cough. Master Yuan coughed a few times. Cheng, do you know why I haven't chosen the 5th Mizukage? Is it because of Ryue-sama? Yeah, that's a tough choice. Ghost Lantern Moonless is the only leader of the Ghost Lantern clan. The strength is outstanding, and he has performed many A-level tasks, and even S-level tasks have been completed no less than 2 hands. The reputation among Kirigakure ninjas is also quite high. The Ghost Lamp clan is a native clan of Kirigakure. They are good at water-style ninjutsu. They were originally the mainstream clan of Kirigakure. The 2nd Mizukage is a member of the Ghost Lantern family, called Ghost Lantern Huan Yu. Although it is now in decline, Ghost Lantern Wuyue is a rare genius of the Ghost Lantern family. The strength is stronger than the Ghost Lamp Full Moon, and has the ability to use 7 ninja swords. The 5th Mizukage was produced in Terumi Mei and Ghost Lantern No Moon. This is a tough choice. Most of the Anbu ninjas of Mist Shinobi tend to be ghost lights without moon, while some guides Jonin, Chunin, etc. are more supportive of Terumi Mei. No matter which one does the 5th Mizukage, the other party will definitely not be satisfied. If it is not handled properly, it is possible to cause 2 parties within Mist Shinobi to confront each other. So in the matter of choosing the 5th Mizukage, Yuan Shi must be cautious and cautious. This is also the reason why he has not made up his mind. It's time to let go. The Yuan Shi who thought of this side, at Cheng, who do you think is more suitable for Mizukage, Terumi Mei or Ghost Lantern? At chapter 207. Advertisement with a flash of light in Master Yuan's eyes, he asked Cheng who was beside him. Cheng, who do you think is more suitable for Mizukage, Ghost Light and Terumi Mei? This question really stumped me. Holding back the spit in his heart, he said, My dear, Master Yuan, you old man, do you want me to take the blame for the choices you can't make? Tukao returns to Tukao, Yuan Shi is his superior and is highly respected. Of course he didn't dare to say that. Ghost Light Wuyue and Terumi Mei each have their own strengths. Master Yuanshi, I personally prefer Master Terumi Mei to be the 5th Mizukage. Ah. So you think so too? In Qing's opinion, Gaidong Wuyue acts sternly and ruthlessly, giving people a gloomy feeling. Qing once performed a mission with Ghost Lan Wuyue. There is a ghost lamp and no moon, and there is a guarantee that the task will be completed. But in the process, the whole person has to be very careful. He felt that Gaidong Wuyue was not such an easy person to get along with. If Wuyue is the 5th Mizukage, then he will be very tired as a subordinate. Instead, Terumi Mei feels like a strong woman. To do things for it, Qing's heart will be more comfortable, and her heart will not be so tense. Yuan Shi's deep eyes looked into the distance, and his heart was also inclined towards Terumi Mei. To be honest, I would prefer to hand over the control of Mist Shinobi to Terumi Mei, but this is not something that can be solved overnight. In terms of the prestige in the hearts of mission ninjas, Terumi Mei and Oni Lan Wazuki are considered to be 5 to 5. But when it comes to mission achievements, Ghost Light Wuyue is above Terumi Mei. The people of Mizuki and Mist Shinobi Anbu perform many tasks and are deeply loved by Mist Shinobi Anbu. Master Yuan is afraid that if Terumi Mei is directly promoted to the 5th Hokage, it will cause dissatisfaction between Anbu and Gaidong Wuyue. If there is a slight error and there is friction that causes Mist Shinobi to fight, then his master is Mist Shinobi's sinner. It is even more worthy of the high expectations of the previous Mizukages. Qing on the side became more and more mysterious. Master Yuan, then we can only wait and see how things change, and see if either one of Lord Terumi Mei and Lord Wuyue can completely suppress the other. Hey, that's all. Master Yuan let out a long sigh. For Gaidong Wuyue, he always had a dark shadow in his heart. He couldn't explain this feeling, it was a bad feeling anyway. A little carelessness may bring Mist Shinobi a devastating disaster. He murmured in his heart, I hope it's an illusion. Fire Nation, Konoha Village, Hokage Office. Shizune was holding a pile of documents in his arms, while Dopu was screaming. Tsunade frowned, looking a little anxious. Only Uchiha Qiye looked a little different, lying on the sofa with Yu lying down. Shizune. Master Qiye, the Shao organization has been dispatched, and the 4 tails Jinchuriki of Iwagakure have been captured by them. Should we, Konoha, take some measures? Shao, don't be afraid, they can't make any trouble. Qiye said lightly, now he has the confidence to say such words. 9 tails Jinchuriki is about to graduate soon. We should send someone to monitor him. What do you think, Qiye? Tsunade raised his eyebrows and asked Uchiha Qiye with a smile. Look, what is a card face? A Hokage has to ask Qiye to make a decision. Cut. Qiye pouted. Master Hokage, you can decide this kind of thing yourself, don't bother me. Sleep is the most important thing for me. Advertisement. Tsunade frowned suddenly and clenched his fists. Heartbroken and funny. The funny thing is the way Qiye speaks like a rascal. She was just joking. Of course, she also knew that Qiye was making fun of her. No, Qiye put on a serious look again, seriously said, it doesn't matter if some Anbu watch over Naruto. With Naruto's current strength, they can't be discovered. It all depends on what you do, Tsunade-sama. Tsunade's red lips rose slightly, and he fiddled with the bones of his hands, making a clicking sound. That brat from 9 tails, it's interesting. With Qiye in Konoha, Tsunade was not afraid at all. Whether you know anything or not, it doesn't matter if you are an S-class traitor or not. As long as he comes, he can't go back. Through Jiraiya's intel, Tsunade learned that they all started in groups of 2. Just 2 people dared to attack a ninja village. Anyway, Tsunade didn't believe it. With her, Uchiha Qiye, and Jonin in the village, Tsunade can't believe there is such a tough ninja. But this is just Tsunade's self-perception, she doesn't believe in him. There are really 2 tough Akatsuki members coming to Konoha again. In the southern part of the Fire Nation, in a withered forest. 2 men in black robes and red cloud cloaks are walking slowly. It's none other than Akatsuki's undead, zombie, duo, Hidan and Kakuzu. Because Futao Jinchuriki is dead, it will take a long time for Futao to revive. Asking them to go all over the world to find the remaining chakra of Erwei is even more difficult than finding and capturing Jinchuriki. So, they changed their minds. Instead of going to the 2-tailed chakra, go straight to catch the other Jinchuriki. What they want to capture is not the ordinary Jinchuriki, but the strongest tailed beast Jinchuriki, 9 tails Jinchuriki. Ju in Akatsuki has collected a lot of information about Jinchuriki. Kakuzu and Hidan know that the current 9 tails Jinchuriki is still a kid at the Konoha Shinobi School. How long does it take to start now? If 9 tails Jinchuriki is taken back to Shao Base, the leader will also not pursue their away mission. If you think about it, the strongest tailed beasts have been caught for you. The chakra at the second end of the district is for others to find. If so, wouldn't it be nice? Hidan thought so. But what Hidan didn't expect was that the angle that has always been calm and less talkative actually agreed with his plan, which surprised Hidan quite a bit. If it is normal, where there is more money in Jinchuriki is Kakuzu's first choice. After all, Kakuzu Master has the financial power of their organization and is a financial fan. Oh, Kakuzu, take a rest, don't you get tired after walking for so long, it's still a long way from Konoha. Kakuzu glanced at Hidan with dark blue pupils. Why, are you afraid? I heard that the other party is Nine-Tails Jinchuriki, who is still in Konoha village, one of the 5 kingdoms, the land of fire, unlike you, Hidan. Kakuzu, who was wearing a mask, couldn't see any expression, and there was a bit of disdain in his tone. When Hidan heard this, he immediately became unhappy and turned his head to one side. Tisk tisk, little Kakuzu, you're really not cute, I believe in the evil god, and there is no such thing as fear here. Do you have to carry out that long and complicated ceremony again? What god, it's really boring. Hidan. B********* D Kakuzu, that's Lord Cthulhu. Be careful of being disrespectful to Lord Cthulhu. I'll curse you. Kakuzu's sharp eyes looked at Hidan, indifferent Kaido. Be careful, I'll kill you, at. Chapter 208 Advertisement. Kakuzu looked at Hidan with murderous eyes, and said coldly, kill you carefully if you are long-winded. Tisk. Hidan stuck out his tongue and licked his lips, completely unafraid. Oops, Kakuzu, what are you talking about? You know, this is something you can't do, and that's why it's our group. Swish. Kakuzu's right hand was instantly covered with a layer of pitch black, and his pitch black fist suddenly swung towards Hidan. Clang, a crisp sound of steel colliding followed. The punch hits Hidan's scythe directly. Kakuzu said calmly, I have changed partners several times, and only you can live so long. This episode can be seen as a way for Hidan and Kakuzu to flirt. Because Kakuzu's previous partners were all killed by him. Why does Hidan not die? The reason is very simple, because Hidan is immortal. In addition to the lengthy and complicated sacrificial rituals of Hidan, Kakuzu still loves Hidan very much. The two rested for a while before continuing on their way. Kakuzu. Nine-Tails Jinchuriki is a little devil. Konoha will definitely guard it, it seems a little difficult to capture it. Hidan looked disdainful. What are you afraid of, Kakuzu? Itachi has already told us the secret code of the Konoha barrier. We directly use the transformation technique to dress up and mix into Konoha village, find Nine-Tails Jinchuriki and bring him back, that's all. In Hidan's mind, it was almost a no-brainer. The way to capture Jinchuriki is as simple and crude. Maybe during the capture process, a few Konoha shinobi worshippers were also sacrificed to the evil god Sama. Kakuzu has a book of information about the Konoha shinobi in his hand, which is definitely for him, and there is one person he will never forget. Hidan. Konoha has an elite jonin named Asuma, who used to be one of the 12 guardian ninjas of the daimyo. His head is worth 35 million taels. You can take good care of me, I want his head. Hearing these words, Hidan rolled his eyes immediately, with a black line on his face. Sure enough, he knew that Kakuzu was not so kind to catch 9 taels with him. It seems that the big reason is because of the 35 million taels. Hidan glanced casually. Breed Kaido. Just this man, got it. In fact, he didn't see Asuma's features. As a money lover, Kakuzu has many connections with the underground black market. For the capture of 9 taels this time, he came more for the 35 million taels. Catching 9 taels, just as Hidan guessed, just by the way. It can be said that Hidan's brain is not very good, he is completely set by Asuma. The weather was hot, and walking under the scorching sun made Hidan quite anxious. Oops, I'm so tired, it would be great to be in a group with little Deidara. There are clay birds as mounts, and they don't walk by themselves at all. Immediately, he glanced at Kakuzu with disgusted eyes. In Hidan's eyes, Kakuzu is really boring. Swish. Kakuzu suddenly shouted, Hidan, get out of the way. Suddenly, dozens of kunai with detonating charms flew towards Kakuzu and Hidan. Hidan's lazy expression suddenly turned into shock. Those kunai with detonating talismans are already close at hand. Bang bang bang, a huge explosion followed, and the ground roared. The explosion caused by the detonator formed a huge mushroom cloud. The scene was very explosive, and it was none other than Konoha shinobi who launched the surprise attack. Advertisement. Kakashi, is it resolved? I don't know, with so many detonating talismans attacking, even they wouldn't feel good. The people who came were Kakashi, Asuma, and Genma Shiranui. Since Konoha got to know and started to move, their inspections of the border have become quite frequent. Especially when they knew that Rock Shinobi's 4 taels Jinchuriki was taken away by Akatsuki, Konoha's border guard cordon quickly expanded to the periphery. Each team is equipped with a ninja who is good at perception and can contact the headquarters at any time. The perception range is centered on Konoha and rapidly spreads around. No, this area is quite a long way from Konoha village. But it was perceived by Konoha's perception ninja that there are two strange chakras, and they are still very powerful, not ordinary characters. That's why the nearest Kakashi team came to investigate the situation. I don't know if I didn't come, but this time it came to startle Kakashi and the others. The cloak of the black robe and the red cloud is the same as the information Jiraiya gave them. Shao organizes, two people act, and the direction they are traveling is Konoha village. Needless to say, the purpose is naturally Nine Tails Jinchuriki, Uzumaki Naruto of Konoha. In the face of these S-class rebels, Kakashi and the others are quite cautious. This is also because Hidan and Kakuzu are quite confident in their own strengths. Walking around so swaggeringly in the land of fire. Hidan and Kakuzu originally thought of using the transformation technique when they approached Konoha village and then mixed in. How could they have thought that the cordon of Konoha would expand so far, and walk in the country of fire so leisurely? It's hard not to be discovered by Konoha shinobi people. Thick smoke billowed, and the three of Kakashi stared intently at the depths of the explosion. Facing Akatsuki, Kakashi didn't dare to slack off, and already revealed the Scarlet 3 Tomo Sharingan. With 1,000 copies in his mouth, Shiranui Shuenjian muttered, "Did you succeed? Such an unexpected attack will have more or less influence on those guys?" Kakashi's Scarlet Sharingan froze suddenly. "Be careful, you two, those two guys haven't been solved yet." The black smoke dissipated, and a lazy and disdainful voice came from the depths of the huge crater created by the explosion. "Tisk tisk. Has it been successful? Such an unexpected attack has more or less impact on those guys. Be careful, you two, those two guys haven't been solved yet." Hidan repeated the words of Kakashi and Genma Shiranui in a sarcastic tone. The sleazy tone of voice is really offensive. Apart from the tattered cloak of the black robe and red cloud, Hidan and Kakuzu do not see a single scar on their bodies. Whether it is Genma Shiranui, Asuma or Kakashi, they are all shocked. Even if they were in the explosion just now, it was difficult to escape safely. And these two Akatsuki members did it, Asuma swallowed. As this Shao, they are all monsters. Kakashi's Sharingan suddenly froze, and he saw some clues from Kakuzu. At this time, the complexion that Kakuzu could see was extremely dark, and then slowly returned to normal. This is. Hidan stretched his muscles, looked at Kakashi and the others, and looked at his clothes. Oops, the detonating talisman just blew up so badly, thanks to you, Kakuzu. The team uniforms of our organization were blown up. Kakuzu, what do you think? Do you want them to pay? After all, this dress is tailor-made, and it costs a lot of money to buy one. So who will pay for this money? Naturally, he controls Akatsuki's economic lifeline, and the rich and powerful Kakuzu came out. 66. Chapter 209 Advertisement. Kakuzu directly ignored the chattering Hidan and pretended not to know him. Anyone who sees Hidan like this will think that Hidan is mentally retarded. Kakuzu, on the other hand, disdains to associate with the mentally retarded. He glanced at the three Kakashi. Hey, that's. Kakuzu saw an amazing character and was ecstatic. Tisk Tisk praised. It really takes no effort to get through the iron shoes. This trip to capture Nine Tails is indeed the right one. Kakuzu fixed his gaze on Asuma. Those stern eyes seemed to tell the world again that Asuma was already his prey. As a part of the Hokage royal robe, that look, it's exactly the same as the information given to him. 30 million tails, get it? Hey, Hidan, stop complaining about the clothes, take a good look, who's on the other side? Cut, often ignored by Kakuzu, Hidan is used to it too. Hiss, click, Hidan directly tore off the tattered cloak on his body, topless, and glanced at Kaka and the others. No one knew him, but the forehead protector mark made him very clear that the other party was Konoha's ninja. Kakuzu, you pay for the clothes. Isn't it surprising that Konoha's trash is on the opposite side? Kakuzu. Sure enough, his partner is so neurotic, Kakuzu recognized it. He just showed Hidan the characteristics of Asuma. Unexpectedly, Hidan just watched it, and he didn't recognize it in the next second. No wonder he believes in evil gods, and his brain is really not good. Asuma was uncomfortably stared at by Kakuzu's greedy gaze. What's up with that guy? He keeps staring at me, doesn't think about me. Why doesn't he look at Kakashi and Genma? Yeah, I saw Hidan picked up the red scythe and spread his hands. He wouldn't forget the pain of just detonating the talisman. Noba's miscellaneous fish ninjas, I want you to repay 10 times the pain of the explosion just now, and accept the punishment of the evil god. Hey, Hidan, leave that bearded ninja to me, the rest is at your disposal. Kakuzu, did you make a mistake? The three of them all threw the explosive talisman kunai at us. Why should that person be handed over to you? B asterisk 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 D, because that guy's head is worth 35 million taels. Huh, is it? Hidan took another look at Asuma. It seems to be a bit of an impression, indeed, it is somewhat similar to the character in the intelligence that Kakuzu showed him just now. Ha ha ha, no wonder you were so excited, little Kakuzu. It turns out that these 35 million taels have already been put into Kabuto. The dialogue between Hidan and Kakuzu completely ignored Kakashi and the others. This is their confidence, Kakuzu, Hidan's confidence in their own strength. Although Asuma and Shiranui Genma were upset, they could only watch it quietly. Hidan's first impression on them is that they are second-hand. Without knowing the other party's ability, Kakashi and the others will not take the lead. Asuma is quite surprised. Does Akatsuki know so much about their Konoha shinobi followers? He used to be one of the 12 guardian ninjas who protected the daimyo, and was offered a reward of 35 million taels in the black market. All this information is known to Shao. It seems that the other party is prepared. Kakashi keeps an eye on Hidan Kakuzu's every move. Asuma, Genma, be careful, they are from the same organization as Uchiha Itachi. What kind of actions Uchiha Itachi has done, the few of them know all too well. There are a full 10 in a betrayal organization like Itachi, and these people don't seem to be an organization that can do good deeds. Hey, Kakuzu, haven't we arrived at Konoha yet? Why were we discovered by Konoha's ninjas? Kakuzu was also surprised by this situation. Advertisement. No way, we're too blatant. Being blatant is on the one hand, and Kakuzu guessed that it was also because their organization was too high profile in catching tailed beasts. All the villages in the ninja world knew about this, so they strengthened their precautions. This is exactly what Kakuzu thought. See Kakashi's Scarlet 3 Tomo Sharingan. Kakuzu's expression was also slightly solemn. Hidan, don't be careless, the other party is Konoha's Jonin, that copy ninja. Sharingan Hitaki Kakashi is also there. Tisk tisk. Hidan grinned. Kakashi, the fart ninja, I also know his name. If such a person is dedicated to the evil god, he must like it very much. Kakashi. Lousy copy ninja's name has made you a fart ninja? Hidan's target was Kakashi, clenching his scythe and galloping away. Asuma, Genma, try to deal with the opponent as much as possible, find out the opponent's ability, and wait for the arrival of reinforcements. Got it, Kakashi. Before Asuma and the others attacked, Kakashi had sent reinforcements to the village. After all, the opponents are members of Akatsuki, and they have to be fully prepared. Yo, fart ninja, you are my prey, Hidan shouted and came to Kakashi. Fighting and shouting, this is how Hidan fights. It may look like sand sculpture to others. But by doing this, Hidan can enhance his enjoyment in battle, and at the same time, it can destroy his opponent's confidence. But ninja. One wrong call. Kakashi put up with it. What does it mean when the second call is wrong? With a black line on Kakashi's face, he retorted. It's a copy ninja, not a fart ninja, okay? Aren't they all the same? Lord Heretic God doesn't care so much. Hidan raised his scythe and slashed at Kakashi. Clang, clang, clang. The crisp sound of metal collisions followed. Kakashi counterattacked defensively with kunai. Asuma, Genma, the guy with the mask will be handed over to you. F asterisk 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 G ninja, you still have the mind to take care of others. Hidan's heart is looking forward to it, as long as he gets the blood of the opponent, he will win. He can play the fart-snapping ninja who is famous in the ninja world with applause. Dedicating such a famous ninja to the Cthulhu-sama, the Cthulhu-sama must be very happy. Kakashi is very strange, his combat strategy is generally based on inquiring about the opponent's ability. In the case of not knowing the opponent's ability, it will not attack rashly. And this guy named Hidan in front of him has been fighting him with taijutsu. And the scythe seems to be his usual weapon. He sighed in his heart, this guy, doesn't he use ninjutsu, or is he hiding his abilities? Suddenly, Hidan's face turned hideous, successful. Taking advantage of Kakashi's distraction, he grabbed the scythe and cut off Kakashi directly in the middle. What kind of fart ninja Kakashi? At this level, you can't even use rituals, the evil god Sama won't like it. Fix one, then next, there are only 2 left, Hidan grinned. Kakuzu in the distance reminded. Hey, look carefully, what did you cut? Hidan. Huh? Suddenly, a cloud of white smoke emerged, and the Kakashi, which had been split in 2, turned into 2 wooden stakes. Ah, this? Hidan rolled his eyes immediately. Body Replacement Technique. Chapter 210 Advertisement. Seeing the 2 wooden stakes on the ground split in 2, Hidan rolled his eyes. This is body replacement technique. I was tricked by a simple body replacement technique. Unforgivable, absolutely unforgivable. Fart ninja Kakashi, I must sacrifice you to the evil god Sama. Kakashi, who was hiding behind the tree, smiled lightly. Judging from the reaction to Hidan just now and the reminder from Kakuzu, Hidan is not pretending to be a sand sculpture, but a real sand sculpture. Such a simple body replacement technique flickers in front of it. Presumably Hidan is a freewheeler in battle. Kakashi doesn't know Hidan's abilities yet. But its single attack method is not enough to fear. Looks like the guy with the mask called Kakuzu is the trouble. Hidan, who can only attack with taijutsu, is no longer a threat in Kakashi's eyes. Quickly solve this mental retardation, and then join Asuma and the others to deal with the person named Kakuzu. At this time, Kakuzu has been watching the battle and has not yet shot. And Asuma and Shiranui Genma also feel assured that the other side of the battle will be handed over to Kakashi. The two of them deal with Kakuzu wholeheartedly. Suddenly, Kakuzu stretched out his black index finger and pointed at Asuma. 35 million tails, I'll make an order. Huh, not everyone can hold my head, it depends on your ability. Asuma spit the cigarette in his mouth on the ground, exhaled a puff of white smoke, and entered serious mode. Damn it, I was put together by this fart ninja in such a simple way. Hey, Kakuzu, don't interfere. This fart ninja is handed over to me. Kakashi can't stand it for a long time when the fart ninja is called the fart ninja. The next move is to resolve the battle. Hiss, hiss, hiss. The sound of Chidori resonance came from Kakashi's hands. This is his famous stunt, and it is also Kakashi's only self-created ninjutsu, Reikiri. Kakuzu in the distance frowned and couldn't help but praise. As expected of the copy ninja Hitaki Kakashi, but what you were facing. With lightning flashing in his hand, Kakashi moved and charged towards Hidan. Yo! Hidan shouted, facing the man who controlled the thunder and lightning. He did not mean to dodge or retreat, but rushed straight to Kakashi. Kakashi and Hidan come face to face. Hidan clenched his scythe and slashed lengthwise towards Kakashi. And Kakashi, holding Reikiri, also stabbed to the position of Hidan's heart. Kakashi, who owns Sharingan, can see Hidan's single attack at a glance. Leaning slightly to the left, he easily avoided Hidan's scythe attack. And the Reikiri in his hand, and the position of Hidan's heart, are close at hand. No matter what ability the other party has, he is pierced through the heart by Reikiri, and all that awaits him is death. Bang! Hiss! Immediately, blood splattered from Hidan's body. Kakashi's one-handed Reikiri runs right through Hidan's body from where his heart is. Lightning flashes all over Hidan's body. Get rid of one. Kakashi's eyes twitched suddenly, and he said coldly. Asuma and Genma Shiranui looked overjoyed when they saw Kakashi's blow penetrated the opponent's vitals. Even if Kakuzu didn't shoot, they felt a lot of pressure. Kakashi gets rid of one first. 3-on-1, they're a lot easier. Hey, fart ninja, you pierced my heart, it really hurts. Hidan's cold voice followed, and his indifferent eyes looked down at Hitaki Kakashi. Advertisement Kakashi trembled suddenly, and looked at Hidan with unbelievable eyes. Even more shocked. What's going on, clearly ran through his heart with Reikiri. Why is this guy named Hidan? Shiranui Genma and Asuma's eyes widened. It has never been seen before that he is still alive after being pierced through the heart by Reikiri. Reikiri is Kakashi's nirvana, and I don't know how few people have been killed by this move. The heart has been pierced, and he can still live. Is this guy still a ninja? Shiranui Genma and Asuma were shocked in their hearts. Kakuzu narrowed his eyes slightly. Ninjas of Konoha, you chose the wrong target. At this moment, Hidan grabbed the arm that ran through his chest tightly with one hand. Hey, Hitaki Kakashi, your Reikiri hurts my little heart. B********************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************** bang, bang. Kakashi can feel his heart beating in his right hand. Are these guys all monsters? Hidan said disdainfully. Hey, Sharingan Kakashi, what did you just say? It's very good to deal with one, but... Speaking of this, Hidan showed a wicked smile. Holding the scythe in the other hand, he slashed towards Kakashi. Click, the vest cracked. Kakashi's figure retreated dozens of meters. Cut. It's a little shallower. Hidan's attack still allowed Kakashi to dodge. The scythe just cut through Kakashi's ninja vest, but did not get blood. A mouthful of blood came out of his mouth. The pain was painful, but Hidan acted like he was okay. It seemed that the more pain he got, the more excited he became. At this time, Kakashi already understood Hidan's abilities somewhat. This guy seems to be immortal, but there is nothing special about that single attack method. Do you have to deal with the guy wearing the mask first? Xuanjian, leave it to Asuma over there, help me last for a while. Genma, who had 1,000 copies in his mouth, jumped up and came to Kakashi. Sorry, I need a little time to prepare for that technique. Kakashi stepped back, and the Sharingan in his left eye seemed to have changed. HMPH, substitution, with my permission. Without saying a word, Hidan picked up the sickle and slashed at Genma Shiranui. The two had another physical confrontation. Kakuzu didn't shoot, Asuma was always guarding him. Don't worry, 35 million taels, when Hidan's side settles it, I will take your head in person, and enjoy the last part of your life. Suddenly, the space where Kakuzu's entire body was located began to distort. This is. The sudden change made Kakuzu's heart palpitate. It was so shocking that even the space was distorted. What kind of power is this? Kakuzu looked for the source of this twisted space power, and his eyes locked on Kakashi in the distance. At this time, Kakashi's Sharingan is no longer the appearance of Sangu Jade, but a strange pattern. Copy Ninja Hitaki Kaka, and Mangekyo's Sharingan like Itachi, oh shit. Kakuzu was shocked, the twisted space node had locked his neck. Click, click, the space became extremely distorted at this moment. Puff, a pool of blood splattered from Kakuzu's neck. Just like that, Kakuzu's head was screwed off by Kakashi's Mangekyo Sharingan. The use of Kamui caused a great burden on Kakashi's body and immediately covered his left eye. Chapter 211 Advertisement Kakashi's Kamui shot was extremely precise, and directly twisted Kakuzu's head off. The use of Kamui caused a great burden on Kakashi's body and immediately covered his left eye. Not only is it a burden on the body, after just one use, Kakashi feels that there is not much chakra left in the body. He originally thought that his chakra was very ugly, but it seems that in front of Mangekyo Sharingan, it is not worth mentioning. Breathing heavily. The power of this Mangekyo Sharingan is not so easy to control. Kakashi glanced at his right hand and muttered softly. In the original book, Kakashi discovered Mangekyo's ability during his 2 years of practice in Naruto, and gradually mastered this power. First used in battle with Deidara. Actually, at the moment Kakashi killed Rin. Seeing Obito in this scene, Sharingan evolved directly from Ergoyu to Mangekyo Sharingan. The left eye transplanted to Kakashi also resonated, and Obito's 2 separate Sharingans evolved directly into Mangekyo Sharingan. Because Kakashi is an outsider, he does not have the boundaries of the blood of the Uchiha clan. Unable to bear the power of Mangekyo Sharingan, he fainted on the spot. Sharingan returned to the appearance of Sanguyu. This time, Kakashi unearthed the Kamui power of his Sharingan in advance. All of this, to some extent, is thanks to Uchiha Qiye. When Kakashi and Qiye were on a mission to capture the 3 tails, Qiye showed off his Mangekyo Sharingan illusion and directly controlled the 3 tails. Although Kakashi was a genius, at that time he thought he was inferior to Uchiha Qiye in the use of Sharingan. Because he is not from the Uchiha clan after all, the Sharingan of Obito will reject him. It was also after years of familiarization that Kakashi slowly adapted to the side effects of Sharingan. And adapted to this ability, because his Sharingan is different from the people of the Uchiha clan, and cannot return to normal. The Sharingan that Obito gave him has always existed in the form of 3-Go Jade. The people of the Uchiha family can control it freely and switch at any time. After the trials of time, it can be said that Kakashi's use of Sharingan has surpassed that of most Uchiha clansmen. But the side effects are extremely difficult to eliminate. Danzo can use so much Sharingan because he has Hashirama cells. Just seeing the shape on the Qiye Sharingan 3-Hook Jade, Kakashi once asked Qiye for advice. After all, Kakashi realizes his own inadequacies, and on the way to become stronger, he will keep moving forward and develop new ninjutsu. Qiye once told Kakashi's Sharingan's abilities that it all varies from person to person. And Kakashi's Sharingan already has the power of Mangekyo, but he has not yet discovered it. With Kai's guidance, Kakashi was enlightened and awakened like a dream. He has been training his Sharingan for some time now. Finally, let him control the power of Kamui. Kakashi was very grateful to Qiye in his heart. Qiye, you really helped me a lot. At the same time, Kakashi also remembered his deceased friend, Uchiha Obito. He didn't expect to have so many interactions with the Uchiha clan. At the same time, there is Uchiha Obito, who also served as the captain of Itachi after entering Anbu. And now, he is under the guidance of Uchiha Qiye. Naturally, the one who influenced him the most was Uchiha Obito, a close friend, and this eye was the gift Obito gave him to become Jonin. What a great ability, Obito, Kakashi's rapid breathing gradually became even. Glancing at Kakuzu where the corpse was separated from the ground in the distance, he confirmed, one has been resolved. Asuma had come to Kakashi's side, supporting him with his hands. Seeing Kakashi's terrifying power, Asuma was horrified. With just one look, the space can be distorted, and the head of an Akatsuki member can be directly screwed off by using the space distorting node. Is this the power of Mangekyo Sharingan? It's exciting these days. Hey, Kakashi, are you alright? When Asuma saw that Kakashi was only exposed, his face was extremely pale and sweaty. Advertisement he knew that this move would consume a lot of Kakashi, and he was worried about Kakashi. Asuma knows that Kakashi's body is already empty just by watching Intimacy Paradise. What? Kakashi, he's only handsome for 3 seconds. On the other hand, Hidan is still fighting with Gen Shiranui. Seeing the two parts of Kakuzu's corpse separated, Hidan couldn't help complaining. No, Kakuzu, he was just killed like this, 35 million tails are not needed. That fart ninja has the same Mangekyo Sharingan as Itachi, what a surprise. In the tussle between Hidan and Genma Shiranui is gradually losing ground. Kakashi didn't hesitate, he wanted to strike while the iron was hot and kill Hidan directly. If he only uses Kamui twice, he may have to let Asuma and the others carry him back to Konoha. A month of recuperation is even necessary. Asuma, tell Genma to stay away from that guy, I'm going to send that noisy guy to hell. Kakashi is very unhappy when he has been called by Hidan as a fart ninja. After hearing Asuma's cry, Genma Shiranui instantly distanced himself from Hidan. Kakashi's scarlet Sharingan glared abruptly, then lowered his gaze to Hidan. Kamui. Woo, woo, woo. Click, click. At this moment, the space around Hidan quickly distorted. Hidan's attempt to escape this twisted space has brought him the constraints, and it has become very difficult. Even more shocked. Damn, has that fart ninja already targeted me? The space was extremely distorted, and Hidan's entire face became hideous and distorted. No, he also wants to screw my head off like he did with Kakuzu. The power of warping space made Hidan's heart palpitate. Jumping up and down, the whole person is trying to get rid of the shackles of the twisted space. Although the other party is immortal, Kakashi can tell that. As long as the opponent's head is twisted off, even if the opponent is still alive. Without the control of the brain, the body cannot do anything. Unless the corpse is separated from Hidan's body and self-consciousness, then it's as if Kakashi didn't say anything. It can be said that Kakashi is gambling. The bet is Hidan who lost his head, he's a waste. Judging from the whole process, Hidan did not cover up in the battle at all, and was completely a sand sculpture who let himself go. In case Kakashi loses the bet, even if Hidan's head is screwed off, he can still move. Kakashi also believes in his companion, Asuma, Genma Shiranui. The two of them are more than enough to deal with a headless guy. It has to be said that Kakashi has a superb IQ in combat. He guessed right, Hidan is a sand sculpture. Without his head, Hidan can't move at all. Seeing that the twisted space node has reached his neck, Hidan's heart was hopeless, as if he saw himself dying step by step. And he will not die, it is such a complicated and intertwined state of mind that makes him terrified. Click, click, pop, there was a low muffled sound, and the head fell on the ground. No matter how Hidan jumped and dodged, he was always locked in Kamui's twisted space. Kakashi seized the moment and fired into his soul. Twice Kamui, no misses. Straight off the heads of Hidan and Kakuzu. What? Kakashi let out a hysterical scream, and immediately fell to the ground. Chapter 212. Advertisement. After using Kamui twice in a row, Kakashi went limp. He still overestimated the amount of chakra he had, or maybe Kakashi underestimated the negative effects of Mangekyo Sharingan on the body. After this process, Kakashi didn't even have the strength to stand up. Just lie on the ground and look up at the sky. With a wry smile, he said, Asuma, Shuenjian, it looks like you were going to carry me back. Call. Both Genma Shiranui and Asuma breathed a sigh of relief. In this battle with Akatsuki, Kakashi is the absolute hero. If it wasn't for Kakashi's Mangekyo Sharingan, he would have been caught off guard. Otherwise, the outcome is unknown. So far, they only know about Hidan's undead abilities. Even if the heart is penetrated, it can still be alive. Kakuzu was miserable, he was already screwed by Kakashi before he even started. Shiranui Genma and Asuma only played a role in restraint, and it was Kakashi who decided the outcome. This makes Asuma and Shiranui Genma feel ashamed. When Kakashi and the other three thought they could easily return to the village, a complaining and sand sculpture voice came from not far away. Hey, Kakuzu, when are you going to pretend to be asleep, but your prey is about to run away? The faces of the three of Kakashi froze suddenly, a voice they were all too familiar with. It was the sound of Hidan, whose head had just been screwed off by Kakashi. How can that be? Whether it was Genma Shiranui, Asuma or Kakashi, they were all shocked. Even if his head and body are separated, he can still live. Is this guy still human? The three of them widened their eyes and looked in the direction of Hidan's head. Seeing the mouth on Hidan's head is spewing fragrance, roaring wildly. Immediately, the three of Kakashi breathed a sigh of relief. As Kakashi guessed, this Hidan is immortal. But as long as the head and body branch house, it can't be the climate. But what's up with Hidan calling out his companion Kakuzu all the time? Didn't Kakuzu also have his head screwed off by Kakashi? Is Kakuzu also immortal? Confused and uneasy, the three of Kakashi looked at the place where Kakuzu's body was at the same time. Suddenly, a dark shadow appeared in front of Kakashi and the three of them. A terrifying murderous intent enveloped Kakashi, Genma Shiranui, and Asuma. A strong unease instantly emerged from the hearts of the three of them. Boom, 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 I saw a black eye. Kakashi, Genma Shiranui, and Asuma were instantly shot several meters away. The three of them slammed into the big tree in the distance. A low muffled sound followed, and a mouthful of old blood spit out from the mouths of Kakashi and the other three. Kakuzu held Hidan's head in his left hand, and his right arm was surrounded by jet black. How is this possible? I obviously screwed his head off. Are these Akatsuki guys monsters? What the hell did that guy with the mask do? At this time, the expressions of the three of Asuma were full of shock, and the scene in front of them was too strange. Unbelievable, really unbelievable, and Hidan is full of complaints. Advertisement, hey, Kakuzu, take it easy, this is my head. Stop complaining, I'll connect you right away. A black thread emerged from Kakuzu's body and instantly connected Hidan's head to his body. Yo hey! Hidan screamed and came back to life with full blood. Kakuzu's sapphire blue eyes looked at Kakashi. Hitaki Kakashi, what a surprise, it seems that you can only use that terrifying pupil technique twice now. Tisk tisk, what a pity. Shiranui Genma. Hey, Kakashi, is this guy also immortal? Can't these two be killed? Are they really ninjas? Kakuzu, the fart ninja was quite proud just now. He pretended to be cool and said he killed the two of us. Now, I will let him pay his debts with blood. Right now Kakashi and the others are not fully aware of Hidan and Kakuzu's abilities, they are completely at a disadvantage. Kakashi gritted his teeth secretly. Damn it, is this Akatsuki, why hasn't the reinforcements arrived yet? In its current state, Kamui can only be used once. But if Kamui is used this time, Kakashi's stamina and chakra will be exhausted. Then there is only death waiting for him. However, the previous two Kamui had no effect on the enemy. The heads were all screwed off with space warp nodes, and they all came back to life. Kakashi guessed that even using the Kamui once would make no difference. At this time, his heart was extremely anxious. Has it really reached this stage? Suddenly, several dark shadows poured out from Kakuzu's body. The head of each shadow is wearing a mask. There was a dark shadow that instantly turned into a puddle of water. Hidan couldn't help but spit out. What, Kakuzu, just came out and died, it's just a shame. This detail naturally cannot escape Kakashi's eyes. He had a bold idea. Could it be that those shadows wearing masks are the life called Kakuzu? What he just killed by Kamui was Kakuzu's life. 3 shadows plus Kakuzu's body and 4 lives. Akatsuki's group of guys are as strong as monsters. His Kamui's attack can only be a single target. In this case, even killing a masked shadow would not help. Asuma, Genma, I'm a little aware of that ability called Kakuzu. Kakashi told Asuma and Genma Shiranui all his guesses. After the two heard it, they froze in place. 5 lives. 1 was killed by Kakashi, and 4 lives left. Is there such a mystery in this world? It was unheard of. This time, they saw it in this Shao organization. Clap clap, Hidan gave a mocking smile and clapped his hands. Kakuzu, that Sharingan ninja already knows how to kill you, you're done. Kakuzu's eyes narrowed. Hitaki Kakashi lives up to the name of Copy Ninja, but unfortunately it stops there. It is not good for our organization to let it develop. Even though he has 5 lives, Kakuzu is still heartbroken by Kakashi's Hitomi skills. If I hadn't resented this secret technique, if he had only 1 life, he would have already died under Kakashi's pupil technique. Such an enemy must never be left behind. Kakuzu, leave these 3 to me. I haven't avenged the beheading yet. I must let them know the pain of being pierced through the heart and beheaded. After saying that, Hidan immediately grabbed the sickle and walked away. Asuma. Genma, take care of Kakashi, leave this guy to me. The blade in Asuma's hand has been covered by the wind attribute chakra, and the blade of chakra slashes towards Hidan who is rushing towards him with the momentum of cutting through the airflow. Chapter 213 Advertisement. Asuma held the blade of chakra in both hands, facing Hidan who was galloping, without any fear. Hey, Hidan, you can't destroy the corpse for these 35 million tails, at least the head must be recognized by those guys. Kakuzu in the distance reminded. Got it, little Kakuzu. Hidan licked the sharp side with the tip of his tongue. Tisk tisk, just 1 person, and the other is to take care of the fart ninja and guard against Kakuzu by the way, so you look down on me, who believes in the evil god. At this time, Hidan is already in a state of complete excitement, and it can enter the sacrificial ceremony with just a drop of blood. And the 35 million tails in front of him was his goal. The current form is pretty bad. Kakashi cannot fight, and Genma Shiranui has to guard against Kakuzu. The only way is to wait for reinforcements? Kakashi said in his heart. Asuma is gradually losing ground in the duel with Hidan. This is pure physical suppression. Fire style, ashes burnt. I saw Asuma spit out a cloud of gray smoke, and the whole person rushed back. Boom. The gray smoke instantly burst into flames. Asuma's advantage is that even if taijutsu falls behind, he still has ninjutsu to make up for it. And Hidan, whether fighting Kakashi or Asuma before, never used ninjutsu. Asuma, watch your back. Shiranui Schwanma's complexion suddenly changed, and he reminded loudly. At some point, a burning man appeared behind Asuma. What followed was a scythe attacking Asuma fiercely. Yohei. Hidan, ignoring the fire on his body, launched a violent attack on Asuma. Asuma just turned around and felt bad. Hidan's blow made him both dead and disabled. It was too late to block the front, and the figure retreated. Puff, bright red blood spurted out. Hidan's scythe cut a deep hole in Asuma's vest. Fortunately, he dodged in time, otherwise the whole person would be cut in half. Although the chest was cut, luckily the wound was not deep. Seeing that the other party completely ignored his own ninjutsu attacks, Asuma thought that he could only be like Kakashi. Cut off Hidan's head, making him incapacitated. Ha ha ha. There was blood on the scythe. Hidan laughed wildly. Licking the blood on the sickle, he looked at everyone present with disdain. There were words in his mouth. Lord Evil God, the ceremony is about to begin. Kakuzu chuckled as well. This guy Hidan, 35 million tails have already arrived. Hidan licked the blood, and his whole body suddenly became extremely dark. The next move surprised Kakashi and others. Hidan, who was holding a black stick, slammed into himself frantically. It is also an important part of the heart, liver and kidney. Blood spurted out of his body. Every time he stabbed himself in the body, Hidan would let out a scream. This cry was indeed a painful moan. However, Hidan became more and more excited. The fatal wounds became an irritation in his eyes. Crazy and bloody. Really rely on the body of immortality, crazy self-mutilation? Kakashi, Asuma, and Shiranui Genma have no idea why Hidan is doing this self-mutilation. The only person who really understood was Kakuzu. Cut. The lengthy ceremony has begun again, so I will kill him sooner or later. Advertisement at the foot of Hidan's feet, he has drawn a circular pattern with blood, with a triangle inside. The hideous face looked at Asuma, and said excitedly, 35 million tails, it's time for you to accept the punishment of the evil god, and experience the pain, so where to start first? Hands, feet or just a little more, what about the heart? Hidan pointed to his heart. Asuma ignored his words at all. He threw a handful of kunai with a detonating charm at Hidan, and kunai aimed at Hidan's head. Since Hidan's head is cut off, his movement can be restricted. Then Asuma thought that blasting his head to pieces should have the same effect. Hey, Hidan, avoid Kuwu, if the merchant doesn't recognize this face, my 35 million tails will be gone. Cut, Hidan pouted, then covered his head with his hands. Boom, the explosion followed. Suddenly, Asuma only felt a sharp pain, and immediately half-kneeled on the ground. Ha ha ha. B*********************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************** on the ground, Hidan grinned, extremely excited. Kakuzu was afraid that the detonating talisman would blow up Asuma's face, making him unable to redeem the bounty. As for Hidan, he was so sincere and directly covered his cheeks with his hands. Anything else, he doesn't care. This sudden rise caught the attention of Kakashi and the others. Shiranui Genma. Kakashi, what's going on? Isn't the explosion attack on the Hidan? Why does Asuma seem to be affected by the attack of the detonator? At this time, Asuma's body was tattered, so wounded. The experienced ninja could see at a glance that he was injured by the detonating talisman. However, there was no detonator explosion around Asuma just now. The detonator explosion is around Hidan. This is what puzzles Kakashi and Genma Shiranui. Kakashi's Sharingan didn't pay attention to Kakuzu at all his attention was on the fight between Asuma and Hidan. Combined with Hidan's words and actions, as well as the strange formation under his feet. This Hidan is a religious believer, and that weird pattern is probably the source of Asuma's injury. Asuma, stop attacking him. Tisk tisk, as expected of the copy ninja Hitaki Kakashi, have you seen the clue? Kakashi's sharpness has made Kakuzu feel that this person must not stay. Don't attack, then I'll take action. Hidan laughed evilly, and the black stick went straight through his thigh. What? Immediately, there was a painful moan, and in this moan, there was a frenzied excitement. Asuma, the huge pain in his leg made him fall to the ground. This makes it a little further up, and Asuma is gone. Xuanjian, stop that guy named Hidan and push him out of the circle. Any damage he suffers inside the circle will be equally reflected on Asuma. At this moment, Kakashi finally saw through Hidan's attack. But, Kakashi, if I do it, the guy in the mask might do it to you. I can't take care of that anymore, let's save Asuma first. Shiranui Genma gritted his teeth and galloped towards Hidan. Have you seen through Hidan's abilities? Then let's leave you alone. At the same time as Genma Shiranui moves, Kakuzu finally makes his move. Suddenly, a black shadow wearing a mask stood in front of Genma Shiranui. And Kakuzu's right hand suddenly turned pitch black and ran towards Kakashi. Just a few meters away from Kakashi, Kakuzu suddenly stopped. Hidan was very puzzled. Hey, Kakuzu, why did you stop again? When did you get so inked? Kakuzu ignored Hidan and turned to look at the big tree behind him. Who? Kakashi, it's been a long time since I saw you so miserable. This lazy and playful voice Kakashi is all too familiar. Knowing the appearance of this figure, Kakashi finally breathed a sigh of relief. If you don't come, we're going to die, Lord Qiye. Chapter 214 Advertisement Lord Qiye, if you don't come, we'll be gone. Seeing the appearance of Uchiha Qiye, Kakashi finally breathed a sigh of relief. Qiye, it's this kid again. Both Genma Shiranui and Asuma were surprised by the arrival of Uchiha Qiye. To be honest, the arrival of Uchiha Qiye was unexpected at Kakashi. Kakashi thought it would be Guy and the Jonin who came to reinforce, but he didn't expect it to be the Hokage advisor Uchiha Qiye. With Uchiha Kai's current status, there is no need to come for reinforcements. Just talk to Guy, Aoba and the others. But the world is so wonderful, and the person who came is Uchiha Qiye. The appearance of Uchiha Qiye, whether it is Asuma, Genma Shiranui or Kakashi, has a full sense of security. Shiranui Genma thought so in his heart, if the reinforcements were this guy, they would definitely be able to do it. Although Asuma is very embarrassed now, the last thing he wants is for Uchiha Qiye to see his embarrassed appearance. But nothing is more important than life, and the arrival of Uchiha Qiye gave him a 100% sense of security. Kakuzu frowned. As Konoha reinforcements, there is only one person who has been underestimated. At this time Kakashi showed a long-lost smile. No, the arrival of that man is very important to you. Kakuzu found that the arrival of this young Konoha ninja has changed the mood of the three Kakashi who were in desperation. They seemed to have found their way to victory in a desperate situation, and they believed in it. Cut, Hidan's face was full of disdain. Hey, Kakuzu, who is this guy? Here's another cool guy. Hidan had forced Asuma to a desperate situation, and he liked to punish his opponent in a desperate situation, under the watchful eyes of Lord Cthulhu. But this kind of atmosphere was overwhelmed by an unknown guy. The appearance of Uchiha Qiye completely ruined it. Not only that. Whether it was Asuma, who fell to the ground, Genma Shiranui, or Kakashi, there was a smile on his face. The arrival of Uchiha Qiye seemed to them the arrival of the savior. This feeling made Hidan quite uncomfortable, not just Hidan, Kakuzu as well. The fact that one person came to reinforce us is actually a high opinion of us. This is still from the mouth of copy ninja Kakashi. This made Kakuzu feel inexplicable. Looking at Kai's figure, Kakashi smiled and said, Qiye, do you want me to tell you about the abilities of these two guys? Uchiha Kai's indifferent eyes glanced around. Lightly Kaido. This, you don't have to. This guy. Kakashi shook his head, this is in line with Kai's style. Qiye glanced at it, Hidan was in the pattern, and the ceremony had already started. Asuma fell to the ground with a look of pain on his face. Obviously, the target of Hidan's sanctions is him. Poor Asuma was abused by Hidan again. In the original book, Asuma died at the hands of Hidan. But this time was different. With Uchiha Qiye around, Akatsuki was nothing. Who is this guy? He's very arrogant. When I get rid of this 35 million taels, you will be the next one to be punished by Lord Heretic God. Hidan is getting impatient. This time, it was a fatal blow. The black stick in his hand has been aligned with the position of his heart. I saw Uchiha Qiye crossed his hands on his chest, and said with a playful smile, Hey, religious believers, kill people in front of me, you can't do it. Advertisement Hidan grinned. He was the most disliked in his life when he was a young man who was handsome and liked to pretend to be cool. Can't you do it? You can try. Just try it. Uchiha Kai's right eye quickly showed a scarlet color, and a shuriken pattern appeared in his pupil. Bang! Hidan's body flew dozens of meters away. The person standing on the pattern has become Uchiha Qiye. Asuma immediately felt the blow to the neck and fainted on the spot. Of course, it was Uchiha Qiye who hit Hidan who was in the lineup, and Asuma was naturally implicated. However, Hidan has already come out this time. Asuma just passed out and his life is safe. Being hit by Uchiha Qiye, Asuma is worth it. Qiye geared up and said with a smile. Schwanma, bring Asuma to Kakashi, just watch the two of them. Genma Shiranui. Oh, okay. Everything happened so suddenly, I didn't know who Shwenjian yet to react. Equally sluggish was Kakuzu, who was even more shocked. Just now Qiye was clearly still on the big tree behind him. But in the blink of an eye, Hidan was knocked flying. And Kai's figure appeared in the place where Hidan was originally. This shift in position is truly incredible. At this time, Kakuzu found that Kai's left eye was a normal black pupil. And the right eye turned out to be Sharingan, not to mention the ordinary 3-tomo Sharingan. It's a bit like a shuriken, Mangekyo Sharingan. Kakuzu was shocked. Wasn't the Uchiha clan killed by Itachi? Besides Itachi's younger brother, there are other Uchiha clan? With doubts in his heart, Kakuzu asked Qiye, "Boy, sign up." Qiye smiled coldly. "You too? Young people these days, they are really crazy." The monstrous killing intent emanated from Kakuzu, who had been in the ninja for so long, and was looked down upon by a kid. "Kid, I remember the first Konoha shinobi I fought, first Hokage. He was not as arrogant as you were courting death." "First Hokage? Is this guy a contemporary of first Hokage?" Kakashi and Shiranui Genma were shocked. It seems that this old man wearing a mask is really immortal, so how old must he be now? This Kakuzu seems to be proud of fighting first Hokage. But first Hokage probably doesn't remember having such a number one player against him. Looking at Kakuzu's proud expression, Qiye couldn't help but laugh. "When you fight with first Hokage, do you mean the one who throws a few shuriken and runs away?" Kakuzu said, "How can you contaminate people out of thin air? But I really fought with first Hokage, you have to believe me." "Little devil, you are really annoying. I just lost a heart. Don't give up the heart that came to my door. It's not just you, but also the two over there. This is a world where there are not many ninjas with Sharingan." Unable to bear the curiosity in his heart, Kakuzu asked Qiye, "Little devil, are you from the Uchiha clan?" "Wrong." Kakuzu immediately denied it again. Since it is the Uchiha family, there cannot be only one Sharingan. Because Qiye, who is standing in front of him now, has a Sharingan in the shape of a shuriken in his right eye. The left eye has a normal black pupil. Is this kid from the Uchiha family? Chapter 215 Advertisement. Kakuzu frowned. Is this kid from the Uchiha family? Do my eyes surprise you? Kai's left eye suddenly changed, and it looked like a jade with 3 hooks. This time, Kakuzu can finally confirm. The boy in front of him belonged to the Uchiha clan. The remnants of the Uchiha clan, haven't they been killed by Itachi? On the other side, Hidan crawled out of the ruins in dismay. Qiye interrupted his ritual of offering sacrifices to Lord Heretic God, which made him quite unhappy. No one ever interrupted his sacrificial ceremony. Uchiha Qiye was the first. This is disrespectful to the evil god. The heretic god was punished, and none of the people present were innocent. Hidan glared at Uchiha Qiye fiercely, and his scarlet eyes also made him stunned. Sharingan, is this kid and Itachi from the same clan? As for how Qiye appeared beside him in an instant, Hidan couldn't care less. Hidan, be careful, this guy has the same Mangekyo Sharingan as Itachi, don't be careless. HMPH, no matter who it is, to end the punishment of Lord Heretic God, he must bear my wrath. Hidan grabbed the scythe and galloped towards Uchiha Qiye. He wished that Qiye would be cut off immediately, without even having to carry out the ceremony. Kakashi, do you really have to tell Qiye about the enemy's abilities? Shiranui Genma was not worried about Qiye, but felt that it would be easier for him to fight if he told Qiye about the enemy's abilities. Kakashi nodded and smiled. No, don't you understand that guy Qiye? He dares to say so with absolute confidence. In fact, this man has brought us too many accidents to Konoha. Even with the Mangekyo Sharingan, Kakashi can't see Kai's true power. It was such a young man who directly destroyed the 3 elders of Konoha, Homura, Kaharu, and Danzo. And Kakashi learned from Tsunade. The second tail of Cloud Shinobi, Jinchuriki, also died at the hands of Qiye. With Qiye in Konoha village, Konoha has nothing to worry about. Real noisy guy. Facing the galloping and furious Hidan, Qiye just smiled faintly. That sneering look in his eyes didn't seem to put Hidan in his eyes at all. This look was all too familiar to Hidan. Usually, he looks at others with this kind of eyes. Unexpectedly, the feng shui turns, and there will be a kid looking at him with such eyes. Incredible, in his opinion really incredible. In front of the evil god, the 5 great kingdoms, the ninjas such as Raikage, Hokage, Tsuchikage, etc., are all mortals. Hidan's other evil gods are like Deidara's art. No one else can doubt it. Hidan shouted loudly, "Little devil, don't blaspheme Lord Evil God with those eyes." "What are you? Kneel down." Qiye returned coldly. Woo, woo, woo. Suddenly, Hidan, who was only 10 feet away from Qiye, stopped. Suddenly he fell to his knees on the ground. Well, what's going on here? Hidan was horrified in his heart. He only felt a huge gravity pressing against him, and the whole person became extremely cumbersome. Both feet that were half kneeling on the ground fell into deep pits. Damn, what's with this gravity? Kakashi and Shiranui Genma look at me, I look at you. I was shocked by this sudden scene. It was clearly Hidan who attacked Qiye, and he suddenly fell to his knees in the middle of running. What kind of operation is this? In Qiye Sharingan's illusion, Hidan, what are you doing? Shouted Kakuzu in the distance. Advertisement. He was also very puzzled by this sudden scene. Damn, Kakuzu, hurry up, this kid is a little different. It can also answer Kakuzu's question, which means that Hidan is not affected by Kai's illusion. So what is it? Wind style, oppression, fire style, head hard at. Kakuzu's two hearts attacked Qiye for the first time. The wind style mask monster released a high pressure ball from its mouth to form a storm of Uzumaki. The fire style mask monster emits a dense flame. The combination of wind style and fire style can turn everything in front of you into ashes with great power. Click, click, the storm and fire dance rolled towards Uchiha Qiye. In an instant, this sea of fire with a storm was condensed into ice sculptures, becoming a luxurious and strange ice sculpture art. What's going on? How could my wind style and fire style ninjutsu combination be frozen? The look on Kakuzu's mask was full of shock. Can fire and wind be frozen into ice? Looking at this ice sculpture, Kakashi knew it. Back, the familiar Uchiha Qiye is back. This frozen power is the Uchiha Qiye that Kakashi is familiar with. Earlier he also called this an ice escape, but obviously, Kai's freezing power has far exceeded the scope of the ice escape. This freeze is the power that Kaka is familiar with. But what kind of power is that half-kneeling guy named Hidan? Could it be that Qiye has developed some new abilities in new ninjutsu? Hidan's heart was extremely embarrassed. A simple word from Uchiha Qiye, kneel down. He really knelt down in front of him. It's not over yet, he was originally on one knee. But the gravity exerted on him suddenly multiplied, and both feet knelt in front of Qiye. Boom, the earth collapsed, and even the earth could not bear the gravity. Hidan's body was directly pressed to the ground for dozens of meters, and a deep circular pit appeared on the ground. This is Kai's first use of gravity. In the blink of an eye, Qiye used the power of frozen fruit to suppress Kakuzu. And manipulated gravity, pressing Hidan to the ground dozens of meters. During the whole process, no one moved a step. This is simply too exaggerated. Kakashi and the three of them fought desperately to deal with these two people, and they were always suppressed, and even pushed to a desperate situation. When Qiye arrives, the situation immediately reverses. In the face of absolute power, it seems that it is not important to know the opponent's ability or not. Do elephants need to know the abilities of ants, and they don't? Kakashi. This guy Qiye really opened my eyes. Shiranui Genma. Me too. In front of him, what if it's an S-rank betrayal? The members of the Akatsuki organization, who made the ninja world terrified, were only a matter of flicking their fingers in front of him. Gollum, the two Kakashi swallowed, a wry smile. This guy Qiye has already stood at the top, we can only look up. Qiye glanced at the deep hole, then locked his gaze on Kakuzu and raised his eyebrows. He said contemptuously, Shao organization, but two people are not enough to see, you should be dispatched together, maybe you can hold on for a few more seconds. It is their misfortune that others meet you, and you know that it is your misfortune to meet me. What is madness? This is madness. Chapter 216 Advertisement. When did Konoha have such a number one person? Kakuzu's blue eyes stared at Uchiha Qiye. He obviously didn't do anything, but he pushed Hidan into the ground for dozens of meters. Damn, is this the power of the Mangekyo Sharingan? Unlike copy ninja Kakashi's Mangekyo is a space-like ability. And this kid? So far, Kakuzu still can't see Kai's abilities. The man in front of him made him feel extremely dangerous. Dangerous even more than Senju Hashirama. When he assassinated first Hokage Senju Hashirama, he did not have this visionary feeling either. Fear? How could it be? How could Kakuzu be afraid? At this time, Kakuzu found that his hands trembled slightly involuntarily. This is not like their style, lightning style, pseudo-dark. A masked black shadow quickly sprayed Uchiha Qiye with the power of thunder in its mouth. Qiye, the Mangekyo Sharingan, had already locked the shadow mask. Godly ice. This lightning-style pseudo-darkness has not yet been released. Kakuzu's lightning-style heart, click, click, it was quickly frozen. How can that be? Kakuzu was so surprised. Wearing another mask, he backed away abruptly. When fighting a ninja with a Sharingan, the first thing to do is not to look him in the eye. However, Kakuzu has the existence of these hearts and acts separately from him. He can basically ignore Sharingan's illusions. To his horror, Lightning Style's heart was locked by Uchiha Qiye with just one glance. And it was quickly covered by ice, and it was impossible to break free with all the strength. At this time, Qiye was quite skilled in using the ice of the gods. All eyes were on Kakuzu's lightning-style heart. This is the same attack method as Amaterasu, but the power is vastly different from that of Amaterasu. Click, click, the frozen lightning style's heart quickly burst open and turned into a piece of shattered ice, leaving no slag. Such terrifying destructive power made Kakuzu's heart palpitate. Having been in the ninja world for decades, Kakuzu has more or less knowledge of Sharingan. After all, he came from the era of Madara and Hashirama, and there is a Uchiha person like Uchiha Itachi in the organization. Cautious by nature and extremely flexible, he quickly discovered Kai's attack method. He sighed, using Sharingan's focus to freeze it. It's a bit like Itachi Amaterasu's attack. Amaterasu claims to be the strongest physical attack, and possesses a black flame that will not go out unless it burns everything. However, after this battle, Kakuzu feels that the title of the strongest physical attack may be changing hands. The freezing attack of Uchiha Qiye just now was the most terrifying in his opinion. Amaterasu burning has a process anyway, and the ice shattered, but it took a few breaths. His lightning-style heart was left with nothing left, probably already assimilated by those ice crystals. He lost 2 hearts in one go, something Kakuzu had never fought before. He finally collected the hearts of the 5 escape techniques. One was killed by Kakashi's Mangekyo Sharingan. One was killed again by Uchiha Kai's Mangekyo Sharingan. He is a dignified S-class betrayal. When has he ever suffered such a humiliation? In the distance, Genma Shiranui and Kakashi have been chatting happily. Genma Shiranui. Kakashi, how long do you think it will take Qiye to resolve the battle? Kakashi. It depends on how Qiye plays. Well, I think so too. Ignore, completely ignore. They were so casual and elegant, as if they thought they were a must-win game. Advertisement. When was the Shao organization looked down upon like this? And when was Kakuzu so despised? In the deep pit, an embarrassed figure slowly climbed up. It was Hidan at this time, disgraced. People are not like people, and ghosts are not like ghosts. The clothes were burned by Asuma's fire style before, and the whole body was left with shorts. You can't fight naked after all. As a believer of Lord Heretic God, when have you ever knelt down before someone else? And just now, Hidan actually knelt down for Uchiha Qiye. Even if he didn't voluntarily, this is also his shame as a believer of the evil god. It is a blasphemy to the evil god. The anger comes from the heart. Hidan has never been so angry as he is today. Those murderous eyes stared at Uchiha Qiye. Facing the angry Hidan, Qiye just smiled lightly. I heard that you were immortal, or a believer of some kind of evil god. Then you really embarrass your evil god by your appearance. Little devil, I'm going to kill you. Hidan picked up the scythe and ran towards Uchiha Qiye. Kakuzu, not far away, shouted, "No, that guy's eyes." It was too late, and Hidan was dazed with anger. Click, click. Kai's eyes narrowed, and Hidan, 10 meters away, instantly turned into an ice sculpture. Kakuzu's heart was a little bit of joy. He knew his partner quite well. That is immortal. Click. The ice sculpture shattered like a broken mirror. Kakuzu saw only crushed ice. Hidan didn't even have a hair. How is this possible? How could Hidan be caught? Kakuzu couldn't believe it if he hadn't seen it with his own eyes. How could the Hidan people be gone? Cut. Qiye pouted. Immortal body, that's all? Kai's magic ice directly freezes Hidan into a molecular form. Of course, this trick is different from the ordinary ice of the gods, only to bind it. Freezing a person into a molecular form would require an enormous amount of chakra. And Uchiha Qiye, the most missing is chakra. Or to put it another way, you can't imagine that Hidan will be able to survive after the 3rd Tsuchikage Onobi's dust escape. Seeing this scene, Kakashi and Shiranui Genma hit it off. It seems that Qiye wants to settle the battle soon. Hidan was killed and all that was left was Kakuzu. Kakuzu frowned. Such a powerful pupil power, that kid couldn't use it continuously. Even if that kid can still use it, then my heart and I can only escape with speed or using the body replacement technique in advance. Qiye clapped her hands and looked at Kakuzu with a playful smile. The current Kakuzu is in addition to the Earth-style heart of the main body. There are also 2 shadows outside, Wind-style heart and Fire-style heart. I heard that all of you guys are very good at talking, but it's still an S-rank betrayal. It doesn't seem to be that good. Little devil, you better not be too proud. I've always been like this. What can you do to me? Arrogant. The current Uchiha Qiye can be described as extremely arrogant. Call. Uchiha Qiye exhaled a cold breath, and an ice blade quickly transformed into the air. Looking coldly at Kakuzu. Have you been hit by a meteorite? Chapter 217 Advertisement. Have you ever been hit by a meteorite? Hit by a meteorite? Kakuzu was stunned by Uchiha Kai's sudden question. I thought to myself that there is something wrong with this kid's brain, so I asked some irrelevant topics. Has anyone in this world been hit by a meteorite? It wasn't just Kakuzu who was stunned. Kakashi and Genma Shiranui in the distance were also stunned. They didn't understand why Qiye asked so suddenly. The corners of Kai's mouth rose slightly, and he smiled lightly, but did not speak. Immediately, he held the ice blade in his hand and swiped up. A purple circle rushed to the sky. Kakuzu and his several hearts are always watching Uchiha Kai's every move. Kai's move just now seemed suspicious to them, but Kakuzu didn't dare to be careless. Rumbling, there was a loud bang in the sky. A huge black shadow descended from the sky, clearing the clouds and mist to see the sky. Just where Kakuzu was, there was a shadow in an instant. Kakashi, Shiranui, Genma and the others all looked up. A huge meteorite is smashing towards Kakuzu with thick flames. How can that be? This time, Kakuzu was completely dumbfounded. Shiranui, Genma and Kakashi looked at each other. It was also the first time they saw Qiye use such an ability. Kakashi. Genma, is this meteorite summoned by Qiye? Gollum. Shiranui, Genma swallowed. Yes, it should be. Does this guy Qiye have any new abilities? This makes Kakashi envious. Uchiha Qiye can always give them an unexpected look and feel. Kakuzu looked up at the sky, his blue eyes filled with shock. Is this really the power a ninja can possess? Wind style, oppression? Fire style, head hard. In the face of this burning meteorite, Kakuzu is not ambiguous. Immediately, he launched his own powerful attack on the huge meteorite. Unfortunately, his strongest attack, lightning style's heart, was killed. This combination of wind style and fire style ninjutsu is like tickling a meteorite. Damn it! Kakuzu cursed inwardly, his pupils suddenly dilated. The burning meteorite is already close at hand. He stretched the black line of his right hand and grabbed it on the big tree in the distance. He wanted to avoid the edge of this meteorite. However, it was only after such a close distance that he understood the huge size of the meteorite. Absolutely unavoidable. Boom, earthquake. This is like a meteor falling from the sky. The terrifying power is incalculable, and it is impossible to see that it was done by human beings. The burning spherical boulders hit the ground, and not an inch of the land was innocent. Before Qiye came here, he had already reminded Kakashi and the others. So, Kakashi, Shiranui, Genma took the fainted Asuma to watch from the top of a hill several hundred meters away. Qiye told them that he came first as a reinforcement. The medical ninja will be here soon. One person calls it an army, and only Uchiha Qiye can say this. Seeing the meteorite's amazing destructive power, Kakashi and Shiranui, Genma were stunned. Kakashi. Genma, do you think you can survive Kai's trick? No, not. Kai's ability has completely subverted Shiranui, Genma's cognition of ninjas. Now ask him to answer anything with skepticism. Advertisement. Kakashi. But Qiye seems to be within the attack range of the meteor? Shiranui Schwanma. Hey, isn't that Kai's move? The meteorite should recognize the master. Kakashi. Before you know it, Kakashi and Shiranui, Genma have turned into sand sculptures. Among the rubble, Uchiha Qiye was not stained with any dust. I clapped my hands, and everywhere I looked, it was deserted. The burning rubble produced by the impact of the meteorite with the earth is scattered everywhere. Qiye clapped her hands. Laughs, that's how Fujitora feels when she uses this trick, Mom. It wasn't over yet. Qiye could still sense the presence of a faint chakra. Suddenly, a dark shadow crawled out of the deep pit. It was Kakuzu. His fire style and wind style hearts have been smashed by meteorites. The reason why he was able to survive was entirely because he found a gap in the ability of his earth style to harden his body. Only survived the meteor disaster. Knowing this time, he just understood. The difference between myself and the man I used to be. It is like the ocean of Wang Yang with no end in sight. Desperate, Kakuzu's only heart has been completely desperate. Even his battle with first Hokage decades ago did not produce the desperation he is in today. Even though he escaped the meteor's attack, Kakuzu was already bruised all over his body. It is impossible to fight at all, not even able to escape. Tisk tisk, there's still a breath left, then I'll send you to see your partner. Didn't give Kakuzu a chance to breathe. Kai's eyes narrowed, and Kakuzu's whole body quickly froze, and then shattered. A character from the same period as first Hokage, Kakuzu, disappeared from the ninja world so quietly. Hidan and Kakuzu are used by Qiye as tools to use their new abilities. First use the ki to deal with Hidan, and then use the outer meteorite to attack Kakuzu. Akatsuki's undead duo, in front of Uchiha Qiye, also deserved to die. If Qiye didn't want to test his new abilities, he could solve this battle faster. Poor Hidan, poor Kakuzu, was just used by Uchiha Qiye as a touchstone for new abilities. He has the power and can really do whatever he wants. After the whole battle, Qiye carried it out with a playful attitude. However, just playing casually like this undead duo can't afford it anymore. After solving these two zombies, Qiye completely ignored the surrounding environment. He lay down and closed his eyes to rest. In this regard, Kakashi and Shiranui Genma have already taken it seriously. At the beginning, Qiye slept on the back of 3 tails, not to mention this situation today. Then, the medical ninja also came. Among these people, the most seriously injured is Asuma. Poor Asuma, molested by Hidan. The thigh was pierced, and the whole body was also injured by the detonating talisman. Kakashi is fine, but the excessive use of Sharingan has caused a huge burden on the body. It's just too much stamina and chakra consumption. I don't know who Oshwenjian was basically uninjured. The one with the most complete clothes and the most lustrous must belong to that man, Uchiha Qiye. Qiye dealt with Shao and the 2 by himself, and there was no dust on his body. And the mind to sleep in the ruins of the meteorite impact. Powerful, that's how you can do whatever you want. Not knowing how long he slept, Qiye opened his eyes. Kakashi and the others were on standby at a distance and did not bother him. Ding! Congratulations to the host for killing 2 members of Akatsuki and completing a nap. Open black lens bracket chakra, physical strength, mental recovery to the best state close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket physical plus 50 close black lens bracket open black lens bracket increase chakra by 20%, has reached a state of proficiency in gravity manipulation, at. Qiye let out a long sigh of relief and simply took a nap. The chakra and stamina consumed by the previous battle have all recovered, and they have also increased, which is not too cool. Chapter 218 Advertisement. A few days later, Shao organizes. There are several camouflage phantoms standing on the stone finger in the dark cave. Payne. Hidan and Kakuzu are out of touch. Kakuzu. Tisk tisk. Wouldn't the zombie duo just be killed? Deidara also did not forget to taunt. It's best to be killed, who let them mock my art. A pair of scarlet pupils are quite conspicuous in this cave. Uchiha Itachi watched silently and did not speak. Now they realize that there are already 2 Jinchuriki captured. 4 tails and 5 tails. 1 or 2 3 tails haven't started action yet. However, at this moment, the pair of Hidan and Kakuzu have lost contact. Do any of you know their latest situation? Kisame. Who knows this pair of zombies? Deidara. Yes, yes. Sasori. At this time, it must have emerged from the soil. In general, Akatsuki's intelligence, contacts, etc. are absolutely responsible. As soon as he opened his mouth, he shocked everyone. Hidan and Kakuzu were killed. Kisame grinned. Tisk tisk, I just said this casually, I didn't expect this pair of zombies to be killed. Deidara. Well, don't they claim to be immortal, how could they be killed by others? Deidara and Kisame were teasing with a playful attitude, but Hidan and Kakuzu were really killed by others. This surprised them a bit. Payne frowned and lost 2 members in an instant, which is not very optimistic. Absolutely, do you know who killed it? Hidan and Kakuzu's mission was originally the 2-tailed chakra scattered around the world. But it was a torment for the impetuous Hidan. So, the 2 did not go looking for chakra of her way. Said everything in a blunt manner. Oh, so what are they doing? Payne continued. Jew. The last time I contacted them was in the Land of Fire, so the purpose is naturally clear. Their goal is 9 tails Jinchuriki. Wood leaves. Hearing Konoha, Payne suddenly exuded a faint murderous intent. It's more of Nagato than Payne, because Nagato's parents died at the hands of Konoha shinobi. Hearing the words Konoha, Uchiha Itachi's heart also had ripples. Jew. Hidan and Kakuzu probably collided with Konoha's ninjas and died at their hands. Never explored along Hidan's path. A huge ruin was found filled with falling rocks, which are traces of battles. Jew was quite surprised by the scale, and he couldn't imagine who Hidan and Kakuzu had met in such a fierce battle. The entire dark stone room was quiet for a few seconds. Seniors, good evening. A man wearing a mask happily appeared in the stone room. It was the masked man Afei. Payne. Afei, it's daytime, as Akatsuki's new member, fill the gap between Kakuzu and Hidan, act alone for the time being, and wait until you find a new member with your partner. Okay, senior, then please give me more advice. The meeting ended, and Deidara and Sasori were walking in the desert. Sasori-senpai, I really didn't expect those 2 zombies to be killed. To be honest, Kakuzu and Hidan were killed and Deidara felt a sense of schadenfreude. Who made them ignore their art? Sasori in the puppet walked slowly, ignoring his partner. Sasori-senpai, shouldn't we go directly to Sunagakure on a claybird? Advertisement. That way is too conspicuous. Besides, there are people from me in Sunagakure, so there is no need to be so high profile. Suddenly, a sand shinobi ninja half knelt in front of Sasori. Sasori-sama, I've been waiting for a long time. A low voice came from the puppet. Yura, what's the situation in the village now? Yura is Sasori's undercover agent in Sand Shinobi. All the ninjas at the entrance of Sunagakure have been killed by him. Now Sanagakure, with Deidara's fighting style, only 4th Kazekage will affect him. As for other ninjas, there is nothing to fear at all. I heard that Jinchuriki from One Tail is a little devil? Deidara asked with interest. Yes, One Tail Jinchuriki is Lord Gaara. Sanagakure entrance, Yura, Sasori, Deidara are standing on the top looking at the village in the desert. This is a huge groove surrounded by huge walls, which is easy to defend and difficult to attack. But for Deidara, who is good at aerial combat, this is not a problem. Deidara's mouth in the palm of his hand is biting the blasting clay, and there are words in his mouth. This is Sanagakure of the Land of Winds, it's time to let it show my art. Capture One Tail action, start now. The Land of Fire, Konoha Village. In an open meadow, Sasuke is practicing shuriken. Master Qiye, will Orochimaru, one of the legendary Sannin, come over today? Well, he can make you gain power faster. Qiye has already told Orochimaru that Sasuke has a strong desire for revenge. And Orochimaru also wants to see Sasuke's wind earlier. Today I came to pick up Sasuke. Shish. Suddenly a large snake appeared in the forest, opening its big mouth full of mucus. The figure of Orochimaru slowly crawled out from inside. Sasuke frowned. How disgusting. The snake-shaped eyes of the big snake looked at Uchiha Sasuke with interest, and said softly, Sasuke-kun, first meeting. This is the legendary Sannin, Orochimaru. Sasuke also met Orochimaru for the first time. This is the man who killed 3rd Hokage. No, now Orochimaru doesn't look male or female. You are Orochimaru? Lord Qiye said that you gave me strength very quickly. It's not that I don't believe it, but I want to see how you give me strength. Tisk tisk, it's good for young people to have a heart thirsting for strength. Orochimaru licked his lips, his white neck suddenly stretched out towards Sasuke. Sasuke couldn't react to this sudden attack. Baring his fangs, Orochimaru took a bite directly at Sasuke's neck. Then the long neck quickly returned to its original shape. Sasuke-kun, this is my first gift to you, what? Sasuke screamed at the sudden pain in his neck, clutching the place where Orochimaru had bitten with his right hand. After a few breaths, Sasuke slowly regained his calm. At the same time, Sasuke can feel the power multiplying within himself. My heart is even more surprised. This is the spell of the sky, Sasuke-kun, which is specially prepared for you. The power of the spell, Orochimaru was extracted from Shigego after many studies. If Sasuke can't even handle this power, then there's no need for revenge. Sasuke-kun, follow me, you can get stronger. Sasuke smiled. Even if the devil was facing him, he was not afraid at all. Uchiha Itachi, wait for me. The countdown to your life has begun, at Chapter 219 Advertisement The Land of Thunder, Cloud Shinobi Village. As the secretary of 4th Raikage, Azabuye is in a panic. Her messages to Kirigakure have been slow to respond. That also means that the other party has rejected the request to form an alliance with their Cloud Shinobi village. Wouldn't it be good to deal with Konoha together? Is it difficult for them, Mist Shinobi, to be involved in the war? Cloud Shinobi thought the Land of Water was the easiest country to ally with their Land of Thunder. But I never thought that even Mist Shinobi would be silent when he heard that he was dealing with Konoha. The Land of Fire is vast, and in terms of resources, it is second to none in the ninja world. Everyone wants to eat and divide, but right now, Mist Shinobi doesn't want to go into the muddy waters. Raikage looked at a table of documents and couldn't calm down at all. Now his mind is thinking about how to deal with Konoha. Azabuye, Mist Shinobi hasn't responded yet? Yes, Lord Raikage. Che, cowardly and incompetent village, this alliance does not matter. The country of water secluded and locked the village, so that others do not know what the village is doing. Raikage has lost patience with this mysterious companion hiding in the dark. Azabuye, is there any way to deal with Konoha now? The matter of the Kingdom of Frost, the death of Erwei Jinchuriki by wooden golem at the hands of Konoha Shinobi has always made 4th Raikage brooding. Sir Raikage, now is not the time to start a war. There is one more thing related to Konoha, which has been rumored in the ninja world. Oh, what's the matter? As long as it is related to Konoha, Raikage is quite interested. That is an organization composed of S-class rebels from various countries, Akatsuki. 2 members of this group want to go to Konoha to capture 9 Tails Jinchuriki. There was a conflict with Konoha's ninjas, and they all died at the hands of Konoha Shinobi. What? Raikage's expression changed suddenly. To be able to become S-level rebels, basically they have the strength to rival Cage-level powerhouses. These Akatsuki members are all scum ninjas produced by the lax management of other ninja villages. In their Cloud Shinobi village, except for the Golden Horns and Silver Horns during the 2nd Raikage period, there was no rebellion. There are no ninjas from their Cloud Shinobi village in the current Akatsuki organization. They are all made up of ninjas from other ninja villages. The most famous of them is Konoha. First there was Orochimaru, one of the Sannin, and then there was Uchiha Itachi, who slaughtered the whole clan. This is one reason why Raikage resents other ninja villages. Even the ninjas in their own village can't manage well. This is what kind of garbage village. If all shinobi villages are like their Cloud Shinobi village, and there is no betrayal, wouldn't the world be at peace? But Konoha's ability to take down Akatsuki's 2 members is enough to see their strength. Even if Raikage is angry, he can only bear it. Moreover, Akatsuki's high-profile actions to capture tailed beasts are no longer a secret in the ninja world. They seem to be declaring war on the countries of the ninja world. It seems to be saying, the tailed beasts in the world, even we know them, can't escape, it's better to accept their fate. Akatsuki has revealed their purpose to the world. 4 Tails is an example. Iwagakure's 4 Tails Jinchuriki was captured alive by Uchiha Itachi and Kisame. But in the country of fire, the Akatsuki organization is shriveled. 5th Hokage Tsunade even made such a declaration after Konoha killed 2 of Akatsuki's intruders. Whether it is Akatsuki or ninjas from other countries, they dare to invade the land of fire. They Konoha see one and kill one. This declaration is quite haughty. As the first female Hokage, Tsunade is also the first female ninja to hold the title of Shadow in the history of the ninja world. Advertisement this haughty, even compared to her grandfather, Senju Hashirama, the god of ninjas, is no different. In a way, Konoha was the first village to declare war on Akatsuki. The other ninja villages are still in the silent stage. Even though Iwagakure where Jinchuriki was captured, 3rd Tsuchikage Onogi has not issued any statement so far. Konoha was at the forefront of fighting against the Akatsuki organization. Some villages with tailed beasts and Jinchuriki were all in a panic, for fear that the Akatsuki group would suddenly attack. Of the 5 major countries, the weakest is the Land of Wind. 4th Kazekage Luo Sha once proposed to form a ninja alliance to deal with Shao organization together. But the other 4 countries did not respond. The declaration of alliance is issued by the weak. Everyone in the world knew that Shao wanted to catch the tailed beast and Jinchuriki, but they didn't know what to do when the tailed beast was caught. But the tailed beast is the standard for balancing the strength of the ninja village, and such a terrorist organization will not do anything good if it wants to get the power of the tailed beast. The Land of Fire, Konoha village, in Hokage's office, Tsunade smiled smugly. Boy, my declaration is not bad, well, very Hokage style. It's been a while since Qiye killed Hidan, Kakuzu last time. Kakashi has been discharged from the hospital due to overuse of pupil power. The seriously injured Asuma has almost recovered. In addition to 9 tails, Konoha now has 3 tails. Of course, the fact that Neji is the 3 tails Jinchuriki is only known by Hokage, Tsunade, and Uchiha Qiye and Shizune. Boy, what's the purpose of the Shao organization to capture the tailed beast? I don't know, it's not a good thing anyway, it should be to rule the world to find peace or something. If Qiye explained to Tsunade and the others that Akatsuki wanted to realize Project Tsuki no Mi, it would be quite troublesome for the whole world to fall into the world of infinite Tsukuyomi. So it's better not to talk about it, just let it develop. As long as he is there, it is not up to Akatsuki to decide whether the Project Tsuki no Mi organized by Akatsuki will succeed. It can be said that this is Akatsuki's behind-the-scenes mastermind in the selfish desire of the masked man Uchiha Obito. The other Akatsuki members are Obito's tool people. Obito is the toolman for Madara, and Madara is the toolman for Black Zetsu. This farce is just a tool to see who is who. Outside Sanagakure, Sand Shinobi's Jonin Yura took out a photo. Panda eyes. There is a love child on the forehead. It is one-tailed Jinchuriki Sand Waterfall Gaara. Lord Sasori, Lord Deidara, this is one-tailed Jinchuriki, the son of 4th Kazekage, Gaara. Deidara glanced. It turned out to be a little devil, it couldn't be easier, Boom, a huge clay-white bird appeared at Deidara's feet. Sasori Senpai, I'll attack from above, as for the rest, I'll leave it to you. As soon as he finished speaking, Deidara stepped on the clay-white bird and walked away. He joined Akatsuki to show the world his unparalleled momentary art. First, let's start with the Land of Winds, one of the 5 great kingdoms. Sasori in the puppet complained quite a bit. I don't like waiting last, Yura, let's go. The sand was blowing, and Sasori also entered the interior of Rock Shinobi. A large white bird hovered over Sanagakure and was soon seen by the ninjas on duty. Inside the Fengying office, it's not good, Lord Fengying, there are intruders above the village. Luo Sha put down her forgiving Fengying hat, and the gold dust around it was just about to move. Seeing the big cloak with the black robe and red clouds, Luo Sha's eyes narrowed. Shao, it's finally here, Chapter 220 Advertisement. Shao, it's here after all, it's no secret that Sand Shinobi has one tail. Sanagakure was also considered by first Hokage Senju Hashirama when assigning tailed beasts back in the first 5 Shadows talks. But at that time, Sand Shinobi already had one tail Shukuru. So they rejected the tailed beast and just asked for more land resources and money. Because the land of wind is mostly desert, fertile land resources are what they want most. Sand Shinobi's Jonin, Baki immediately rushed to Luo Sha's side. Lord Kazekage, only one enemy has been found so far. Judging from that outfit, the cloak with the black robe and the red cloud is definitely a member of Akatsuki. High in the sky, Deidara's eyes are watching everything with what looks like a camera. Fourth Kazekage was instantly within his sight. Tisk, is that the fourth Kazekage, ehhhh. Deidara strangely didn't see Gaara. Hovering in the sky for so long, he always saw a little devil with the word love written on his forehead. I don't know what's going on with big brother Sasori, ehhhh. Suddenly, gold dust appeared under Luo Sha's feet, instantly sending him into the sky. In Sanagakure, there are very few ninjas who can fight at high altitude. Except for 4th Kazekage Luosha, the others basically rely on crossbows or shuriken, kunai to attack. For a while, Luo Sha and Deidara formed a confrontation. Baki below looked sad. Damn, is the other party a ninja who knows that our village is not capable of aerial combat, so he specially sent a ninja who is good at aerial combat over, Mr. Gaara. Do you know where Mr. Gaara is? Baki growled and asked the Anbu ninja beside him. Ma, Baki-sama, Gaara-sama should be with Tamari-sama, Kankuro-sama, they are all surrounded by Anbu's protection. Because the village needs ninjas, now Tamari, Kankuro, and Gaara are Sanagakure's genin. The Chunin exam will be held in Konoha next year, and they will be able to take it then. High in the sky, Luosha alerted Deidara. In Luo Sha's eyes, the other party is also a young man. But strength can't be viewed in terms of age, S-level rebellion is enough to show the strength of the opponent. He once proposed to other countries to form an alliance to deal with the Shao organization, but they were all rejected. Now there is only one ally of the Land of Wind, and that is the Land of Fire. This is an alliance treaty signed during the Third Ninja War. Luosha looked at Deidara with sharp eyes and said, do you know that the organization came to my Sanagakure to capture the tailed beast? I know and ask, I saw Deidara folded his hands on his chest and continued. Not just a tailed beast, I also want Sanagakure to see my art. That moment's art is the moment of youth in the world. Don't worry, you caught Jinchuriki, and you also saw my art, we'll be leaving soon, ehhhh. We Sanagakure are the place where you rebels come and leave. Luo Sha waved his hand, and several lines of yellow sand stretched out from the ground and flew towards Deidara. Not only the sand in the village, but even the gold dust beside him was dispatched. Tisk tisk, it's really gold panning in the sand, ehhhh. Deidara grinned. The country of wind is obviously a poor country, but the wind shadow has such a piece of gold dust. A giant hand made of sand swooped down on Deidara. With such a violent attack, Deidara could only run around. Even so, he remained calm and seemed to be at ease. Luosha's ability is mainly to control gold dust, which is faster than ordinary sand. Advertisement within a few breaths, Deidara's right foot was bound by Luosha's gold dust. Deidara's rather surprised eyes glanced at Luo Sha. There were words in his mouth. It seems that this gold dust is his best attack method. Luosha's indifferent eyes watched everything in Deidara, and his gold dust had wrapped around Deidara. He shouted coldly. Since you are here, then leave one leg for the first time. When he wanted to destroy one of Deidara's legs with the enormous pressure of the gold dust wrapped around Deidara's thighs suddenly exploded. Drink! Deidara screamed, and the sand gold was blown loose. Taking this opportunity, Deidara escaped the shackles of gold dust. If it were 1 second slower, his leg would really not be able to keep it. As expected of a ninja with the title of Shadow, ehhhh. The smoke from the explosion rose to the sky, and Luo Sha felt that the gold dust was no longer bound. Then he knew that Deidara had escaped the hold of the gold duster. As expected, Akatsuki's members have their own special abilities. Just now Deidara has not detonated the gold dust that bound him from the outside, but from the inside. At this moment, the overwhelming sand in Sanagakure was flying into the air. Deidara was amazed by this spectacular sight. Others have the advantage of the location, but this is also my advantage, ehhhh. Although it's refreshing to play with Kazekage, Deidara knows that Sasori is someone who doesn't want to wait. If Sasori were to continue to wait, there might be something wrong. Or perhaps Sasori had already found Jinchuriki and took it away first. So this series of actions by Deidara can be described as a waste of time. Therefore, he must resolve the battle here as soon as possible, and then reunite with Sasori. Then, just use C3, ehhhh, this time to capture one tail. Deidara brought enough blasting clay. In this way, he can play enough and let the world see his art. What kind of beauty will such a village burst out with gorgeous sparks? I'm looking forward to it, ehh. Deidara put her hand into the kabuto bag, chewing slowly with her big mouth in her palm. With a slight flick, a doll quickly fell from the sky. Suddenly, the size of the doll became extremely huge, and the speed of falling was several times faster in an instant. This C3 number 18 was mixed with chakra, the highest level of Deidara, and the power of the explosion was enough to make people in this village unforgettable. Deidara turned from defense to attack, and this time, his goal was not some tailed beast, but the Sanagakure at his feet. Sanagakure's ability was Luo Sha's advantage, but this time, it became his weakness. Judging from the size of the clay and the power of the explosion, Luo Sha felt that this move would be enough to destroy most of the Sanagakure. These people who know how to take action are really ruthless and decisive, without any hesitation. If they attack Deidara directly regardless of the village, their Sanagakure's decades of hard work will be destroyed at the hands of his fourth Kazekage. Rosa would never let such a thing happen, rumbling. A loud bang came from the sky above Sanagakure, and the villagers and ninjas of Sanagakure felt the earth tremble. The eardrums of some villagers were shattered by the loud noise just now. The mushroom cloud formed by the explosion glanced into the sky. The bright sky turned dark at this moment. The ninjas and villagers of Sand Shinobi looked up and saw only a huge wall of gold dust and fools. The blue sky, white clouds, sun, etc. are gone. At this time, Sanagakure was shrouded in shadows. Chapter 221 Advertisement. At this time, Sanagakure was shrouded in shadows. The high-altitude battle caught the attention of the villagers and ninjas. But they could only watch quietly and couldn't do anything else. Sanagakure has no air combat type ninjas at all. It is said that it is the land of wind, but there are not many who know wind style. Rosha's obscuring sand escape finally blocked Deidara's C3 number 18. The use of such a scale of sand plus its own gold dust is a great consumption for the chakra of 4th Kazekage Luosha. Luo Sha, who had created a barrier, stood on the sand cloud, breathing heavily. Deidara grinned inside softly, as expected of a ninja who bears the name of Shadow, ehh. Inside Sanagakure, in an open field, several Anbu personnel found Gaara, Temari, Konkuro and the three of them. Master Gaara, Master Temari, Master Konkuro, there are enemies attacking the village, please follow us to a safe place to escape. Since the last time Uchiha Qiye helped Gaara suppress the tailed beast and brainwashed him. The current Gaara is no longer as fierce as it used to be. Temari also knows that this is the change that Konoha's ninja brought to Gaara. After all, she will never forget the handsome guy. No, I'm a ninja in the village now, and I have to do my part for the village. Gaara said in a milky voice. Even though Gaara has improved, the other ninjas in the village are still quite heartbroken. Jinchuriki's mood changes, and they are not sure what kind of mood Gaara is in now. Although Gaara is only a genin, he is a Jinchuriki and has the absolute defense of sand. As long as Gaara has no escaping thoughts, these Sand Shinobi Anbu people are powerless. They also did not dare to force Gaara to a safe place. Once started, they might have already died under Gaara's hands. Damn, isn't Captain Baki here yet? These Sand Shinobi Anbu ninjas also find themselves in a dilemma when Gaara refuses to take refuge in the safe zone. I am afraid that only Captain Baki can make Gaara obey orders. These Sand Shinobi ninjas were even a little fortunate in their hearts when they knew Akatsuki was targeting a tail beast. Some hope that Jinchuriki is taken away by Akatsuki. Because Jinchuriki is almost always shouting and beating in any village. Since Akatsuki is interested in such monsters, let them capture them. As for what to do after being caught, who cares so much? This is just a part of the ninja's inner thoughts, and they naturally dare not say much about the above decision. Basically, some high-level and powerful ninjas know the true meaning of Jinchuriki's existence. In the eyes of others, it is just a monster in human skin. The huge protective shield in the sky caught the attention of Konkuro, Temari, and Gaara. Is your father fighting the enemy at high altitude? The scale of this protection almost shrouded this Sanagakure. Damn, it seems that the enemy is quite powerful, and he can actually push father to such a level. Konkuro and Temari are very worried about Luosha. Using such a huge shield will consume a huge chakra, just don't know if the enemy has been solved. Tisk tisk, is Jinchuriki here? I'm really looking for it. Click, click, click. A deep voice rippled back and forth in this square, and the voice of puppets suddenly appeared around Konkuro and the others. The big cloak in black robe and red cloud was crawling on the ground and came slowly. This is Akatsuki's companion. According to the information, Akatsuki is operating as a two-person team. There is one in the sky fighting with Kazekage, so this is the other one. Sasori glanced at the sky, and all he saw was a huge gold duster barrier. Couldn't help but complain a few times. That guy Deidara is so slow, he actually started playing with Kazekage and asked me to find Jinchuriki first. Well, take Jinchuriki away and leave him alone. Sand Shinobi and a few of Anbu's ninjas rushed towards Sasori with kunai. Lord Tamari, Lord Konkuro, get out of here with Lord Gaara, we will deal with this enemy. These Anbus have already made up their minds to fight to the death. Wind style, the dust of wind and sand. Fire style, fire clouds. Among them, 2 Sand Shinobi ninjas performed fire style, wind style ninjutsu. Other ninjas used their shuriken for long-range attacks. Sasori in the puppet showed a look of disdain. It has been so many years since he left Sand Shinobi. I didn't expect Sand Shinobi's ninja to be this level. Doesn't it mean that the times are progressing? This kind of strength is not comparable to the ninja in the village when Sasori was in Sanagakure. Swish, with a flick of her tail, the Anbu from Sand Shinobi was instantly eliminated. Only Konkuro, Gaara, and Tamari were left on the field. Tisk. There are only 3 of you left. That red-haired kid is one-tailed Jinchuriki. Tamari, you take Gaara first, this guy is handed over to me. No, Konkuro, you are not his opponent, let me stay and deal with him, you take Gaara away. As a big sister, Tamari is still very responsible. Gaara didn't care about the 2 of them. With a wave of her little hand, a lot of sand bound Sasori's Higurashi. Sand-bound coffin. Advertisement. Within a few breaths, the figure of Sasori Hirayuhu was no longer visible, and it was completely covered by Gaara's sand. Sand falls funeral. With Gaara's small hand, the sand instantly shrinks. Huge pressure squeezed Fei Luhu. Konkuro and Tamari looked overjoyed. They are very clear about Gaara's strength. Don't look at Gaara's young age. In the entire Sanagakure, except for Kazuya-sama, Gaara is the strongest in terms of strength. Gaara, who is completely tailed beast, is difficult to suppress even 4th Kazekage Luo Sha. Konkuro. Did it work, Gaara? Gaara's panda eyes narrowed slightly. No, not yet, you 2 be careful, the sand is gone. Gaara saw that the surface of Fei Luhu was covered with a black sand iron. Sasori's entire puppet, unscathed. The black sand iron gave Gaara a very familiar feeling to them. Gaara has already made a move, and Konkuro naturally does not let it go. He had already sacrificed the crow. The puppet crow lurks in the sand and hides behind Sasori Hirayuhu. Bang bang bang, he opened his chest and directly pulled Sasori's Higurashi inside. It turns out that you are a puppet master. Being pulled into the crow's body, Sasori left such an intriguing sentence. Escaped Gaara's sand falls funeral before. Shao scum, try my trick. Black secret skills, puppet farce, and a machine. Suddenly, several sharp knives were inserted into the vacant slots under Konkuro's control. This time, it was a real attack. Once inside the body of a black ant, don't even think about coming out alive. Konkuro can already use crows and black ants flexibly. Nice job, Konkuro. Tamari on the side is also cheering for Konkuro. Her fan has been opened only to find that the other party has fallen into Konkuro's puppet. Faintly, Gaara still felt a little uneasy. Konkuro, Tamari, don't be careless, this guy, it's not easy. It shouldn't be. The smile on Konkuro's face slowly faded. Because he was manipulating the puppet, he could actually feel that his attack hit the opponent. But what is this strange feeling? Click, click. The entire body of the puppet black ant is slowly cracking. With a bang, the puppet exploded directly. A wisp of sand and iron circled around Sasori Hirayuhu, and Gaara and Konkuro's attacks did not cause any damage to it. How is this possible? Konkuro was amazed in his heart that his puppet attack had no effect at all. Moreover, it was the first time that the black ant and the crow were destroyed by the enemy in battle, and it seemed that their routine was completely seen by the enemy. A kid is a kid. It wasted a few seconds of my time. These puppets are all left over from my play. For the first few rounds, Sasori played with a playful mindset. He just wanted to see how powerful the Sanagakure puppet master was today. It seems that it is only so far. After Granny Chiyo retired, Sand Shinobi doesn't have a decent puppet master. A kid is a kid after all, in Sasori's opinion. Jinchuriki Gaara's strength is not that great, and the opponent's control is just sand. And what I use is sand iron, which is not at the same level at all. He is not Deidara, he wants others to witness the art of the moment. Sasori's purpose has been achieved, then, it is time to take away Jinchuriki. Konkuro was shocked when he saw Sasori's iron sand in the puppet. Combined with the opponent's dedication to the puppet, it is not difficult to guess. You are the Sasori of red sand who has disappeared for more than 20 years and possesses a genius puppet master? Tisk. I didn't expect that there are still people who know my name, and it's still a kid like you. The sand iron just now is what 3rd Kazekage has, which means that 3rd Kazekage died in his hands. What Konkuro did not expect was that such a person would join the Akatsuki organization. This is the shame of their Sanagakure, and it is the shame of Chiyo's mother-in-law. Hiruho's tail swept over, and in the blink of an eye, Tamari and Konkuro were both hid by the thorn. Each of Sasori's attacks is tainted with poison. Temari and Kankuro, who were hit by Feiluhu, suddenly felt dark and fell to the ground. This kind of poison was carefully prepared by Sasori, and even if he prepared the antidote himself, it would take several days. That was only possible if Sasori was quite familiar with his own poison. It's even harder for other medical ninjas to decipher. Time is running out for Temari and Kankuro. Both Temari and Kankuro were defeated, and Gaara was the only one left. Chapter 222. Advertisement. Temari and Kankuro were knocked down right in front of him, but Gaara was powerless. Only at this moment did he realize his own inadequacies. Even if he is Jinchuriki, even if he has the power to make the villagers fear, Gaara can't do everything either. In Sanagakure, he was able to stand out from the crowd. It is almost the existence of one person below 10,000 people. There are mountains outside the mountains, and there are people outside the people. After leaving Sanagakure, Gaara will know the vastness of the outside world. At least this enemy in front of him was the one who felt heart palpitations for the first time in Gaara. No matter what Gaara called, neither Temari nor Kankuro responded. Bang bang bang, there were several loud noises from above. Sasori was getting impatient. That guy Deidara, are you still playing with Kazekage? Deidara is like this, once she shows her art, any task will be forgotten. Sasori didn't want to wait for Deidara anymore and took Gaara away. The black sand iron and the puppet attack at the same time. The sand iron's magnet style is the existence on the fourth Kazekage Luo Sand's sand gold and Gaara sand. How would you say that third Kazekage is the strongest Kazekage? Even Gaara's absolute defense was found by Sasori. The current Gaara is no match for Sasori at all. Shush, in a few breaths. Gaara's face was scratched by the puppet's attack, and a bright red hole was drawn. Immediately, I felt that the heaven and the earth were spinning at this moment, and there was darkness in front of my eyes. Gaara rolled her eyes and fell to the ground instantly. Sasori's attack on Gaara, the blade is not poisonous. Rather, it is a drug similar to anesthetizing hypnosis, which is quite effective for Jinchuriki. As long as there is a slight scratch, the drug will instantly paralyze the whole body and make him lose consciousness. Without the help of external objects, if you are naturally awake, it will take at least 3 days. This is a drug specially developed by Sasori to deal with Jinchuriki. As soon as you start, you will know if it is there. Sasori rolls Gaara's body high with Hirayu Amber, sigh lightly. One tail capture, mission accomplished, swish. Yura's figure appeared in front of Sasori, half kneeling on the ground. Master Sasori, there are no obstacles on the road ahead, you can just leave the village. Well, you did a great job, Yura. Sasori simply replied and walked out of the village. Sasori-sama, don't you have to notify your companion, Deidara-sama? That kind of guy, whatever he wants. Above the sky, Luo Sha's face was pale and his breathing was very rapid. He simply doesn't have the energy to move the huge sand wall barrier above the village to the outside of the village. He is already struggling to deal with Deidara. If he moves the barrier, Deidara will take advantage of it. In that way, Luo Sha will only be thankless. But maintaining such a large sand wall barrier is quite expensive for chakra. Of course, Luo Sha can also leave it alone and let the sand wall fall. In that case, most of the buildings in the village will be destroyed by the sand wall. With such a huge sand wall falling, the impact force is no joke. Luo Sha, as the wind shadow of Sanagakure, naturally would not let such a thing happen. In this way, Luo Sha, who originally had a geographical advantage, became his disadvantage instead. If it weren't for the battle over Sanagakure, Luosha would have been able to dismantle the sand wall long ago. Since Sanagakure is covered by a huge sand wall barrier, Deidara has a harder time finding Jinchuriki. I opened the camera on my eyes and looked around. Hey, isn't that Sasori-san? From such a distance, Deidara captured Sasori's figure on camera. And I saw the Jinchuriki wrapped around the tail of Feiluhu. Tisk tisk, as expected of big brother Sasori, the shot is neat. Jinchuriki has already been captured by him. It seems that the battle on my side should be resolved soon, otherwise big brother Sasori will complain. Deidara put both hands in Kabuto, and the next move was the winner. Fengying, how about my explosion art? Before the shot, Deidara did not forget to show Luo Sha his art. Art is explosion, and he certainly wants others to recognize his art. Finished. Deidara smiled to herself. With a wave of his hand, a white bird flew towards Luo Sha. Coming. This white bird was also made of explosive clay, and Luo Sha knew that when the bird approached, it would definitely explode. When he wanted to control the placer gold, he found that there was very little placer gold that he could use. Because of the existence of the huge sand wall barrier, with the remaining chakra, he can only use ordinary sand. But the white bird disappeared when it flew halfway. Well, what's going on here? The other party cancelled. Naturally, Luo Sha would not be naive enough to think that Deidara gave up this attack. Is it a feint or what? As long as there is sand around Luo Sha, he can detect it. Advertisement. A deep sense of unease came over him. Bang bang, at this moment, Luo Sha heard the sound of his heart beating and his pupils shrank suddenly. The figure swooped backwards. Surrounded by fine sand, he has an unusually keen sense of danger. Towards the retreating fourth Kazekage Rosa, the corners of Deidara's mouth rose slightly. Tisk Tut praised. As expected of the name of Fengying, but it's too late, What? Luo Sha made a painful sound, and the whole body was slowly dissipating from the feet. Dissipated until the abdomen stopped. Luo Sha's whole body became half. The blood gushed out, and the high-altitude Luosha no longer had the spirit and chakra to maintain this huge sand wall barrier. Rumbling, with a loud bang, a huge wall of sand fell from the sky, hitting Sanagakure heavily. The entire Sanagakure of the pit seems to be almost filled with this sand wall. Many buildings collapsed in an instant, and the sandy Sanagakure was in ruins. Deidara above the sky was pale, half kneeling on top of the clay bird. His face was covered in fine sweat, and he was breathing heavily. As expected of Kazekage, it's impossible to live with that level of injury. Well, I've reached my limit. Both C3 and C4 were used. At this time, there was not much Deidara blasting clay left, and chakra was consuming a lot. Oops, it's a big game this time. Let's meet up with big brother Sasori, The huge clay white bird fluttered its wings and flew out of the village. Just now Deidara used C4 for fourth Kazekage, which can be said to be a reduced version of Garuda. The clay birds did not disappear, but dispersed into extremely small clay spiders that were invisible to the naked eye and scattered in the air. Fourth Kazekage also noticed this unusual move and quickly retreated. Even so, he inhaled some tiny clay spiders. The tiny clay spider destroyed Luosha's body from the inside out, but only half of it was destroyed. If you don't pay attention to the huge sand wall, and maintaining the sand wall consumes too much chakra. Orosa can use the sand's sense of danger to avoid Deidara's small C4. But there is no if. Deidara is taking advantage of Luosha's weakness to protect the village. If the fight happens elsewhere, the small C4 Rosha can dodge it. At that time, if Deidara wanted to defeat Luosha, he would have to use the full-power C4 Garuda. The ninjas who bear the name of shadows have 2 strokes, except for the old man Oyegi, Deidara muttered to herself. Before long, Deidara's birds were already hovering over Sasori. Brother Sasori, you are still one step ahead. Jinchuriki can't escape it all in your hands. As expected of you, big brother Sasori, it's simply too powerful. Because she neglected her task while showing art, Deidara naturally wanted to lick Sasori. Otherwise, in the situation where he just finished fighting with Fengying, it would be even more difficult to capture one tail. Enough, Deidara, you make me sick. Deidara spread her hands indifferently. So, after you've been playing for so long, what's the situation with Sanagakure and Kazekage now? Sasori asked with interest. Fengying, you should be dying now. As for Sanagakure, I am afraid that it has been annihilated in the yellow sand and turned into ruins, Deidara was right. The huge sand wall barrier fell and the whole sand shinobi Choi was in ruins. There are few well-preserved buildings, and fourth Kazekage Luo Sha, only the last breath left. Because it is located in the desert, the falling of the huge sand wall destroyed the buildings of Sanagakure. However, few ninjas and villagers suffered casualties. To prepare for the sandstorm, all the villagers and ninjas have holes to hide from. Before the sand wall fell, the villagers had already taken refuge. Master Kazekage, how could it be? How could it be so badly injured? The medical ninja. Call the medical ninja over here. When Baki saw fourth Kazekage Luo Sha, half of his body was left. The blood stained the yellow sand. Luo Sha's breathing became extremely weak, and it seemed that he would die if he was inadvertently. Baki-sama, medical ninja, no medical ninja can be found. Huge sand walls fell, and Sanagakure was in ruins. Medical ninjas are hard to come by here. Fourth Kazekage Rosa left his last words. Baki, I'm dying. I leave the last mission in the name of Kazekage. Gaara has been captured by Akatsuki. Sanagakure's affairs are temporarily left to you. As for the fifth Kazekage, let's see which ninja will be able to do it in the future. Also, Sanagakure was left in ruins, but fortunately there were not too many casualties. Gaara has to be rescued, which is difficult. There is only one way, to our ally, Konoha village, the land of fire. You should contact Konoha immediately. Since then, the Kingdom of Wind has become a vassal of the Kingdom of Fire. This is what I finally entrust to you in the name of Kazekage. Although the Kingdom of Wind is one of the 5 major countries, its strength is the existence of the bottom, which is known in the ninja world. Geography limits everything. Now all Sanagakure can rely on is their only ally, the land of fire. Deidara almost single-handedly turned Sanagakure upside down. Before Luo Sha wanted to form a ninja coalition with other ninja countries to fight against Akatsuki, it became a distant dream. Chapter 223 Advertisement. Everyone in Akatsuki can deal with a ninja village when he pulls it out. This kind of strength is not blown out. Sasori once used his puppet technique to destroy a country. This time, it was Sanagakure's turn to witness Akatsuki's shinobi village. Poor Sanagakure just became Akatsuki's background. All he can rely on is his ally, Konoha village, the land of fire. After Luo Sha said all this, she closed her eyes. Lord Fengying, how is that possible? Master Fengying. Lord Kazekage, the medical ninja has arrived. The surrounding Sand Shinobi ninjas were in a very sad mood. It was even more difficult for them to believe that the strongest ninja in the village died in front of them. These people knew that with such an important injury of Luo Sha, even if the medical ninja arrived immediately, it would not be able to revolving heaven. Baki's eyes were red, his hands clenched into fists. Friction between bones sizzles. He knew that Luo Sha would not have been defeated if he hadn't taken care of the village. Opponents also picked on this weakness. Damn Akatsuki, we Sand Shinobi are at odds with you. The other ninjas surrounding Luo Sha were all ashen-faced. Fengying is the spiritual pillar in their hearts. When one wind shadow falls, there will not be thousands of wind shadows standing up. After all, there are only 5 ninjas in the entire ninja world who bear the name of Shadow. And their Sanagakure's wind shadow is only one. This time Akatsuki's sudden attack was not just Kakage's death in battle. Even their village was more than half destroyed, and Jinchuriki was captured. Since Sanagakure's establishment, when has he suffered such humiliation? All this is thanks to Xiao Xiao. Excited, happy, joyful mood can be transmitted. But despair, helplessness, and stillness are equally okay. The Sand Shinobi ninja who have lost their spiritual support have completely lost their faith. Ma, Lord Baki, what should we do now? There are those who are desperate, and there are those who are hopeful. It is not without reason why the Land of Winds is one of the 5 great kingdoms. There are some Sand Shinobi ninjas who haven't given up. Baki is one of them. Contact Konoha immediately and ask for support. All of a sudden, Baki has to follow 4th Kazekage Luosha's last wish and ask Konoha for help. No, Baki-sama, Kankuro-sama and Tamari-sama were poisoned after fighting with the enemy, and they are unconscious. This. Boom, Baki directly punched the ground heavily. Gaara is captured, and Kankuro and Tamari are poisoned. They are the most promising ninjas of the new generation of Sanagakure, but now they have been poisoned by Akatsuki. This is the biggest catastrophe in Sanagakure's history. Baki couldn't think of anything worse than this. Send Tamari, Kankuro to the hospital immediately. Hospital? Yes, the current Sanagakure is in ruins, how can there be any hospital? Medical ninjas are already on emergency treatment. Now Baki immediately assigned everyone the task of repairing the ruins. Take good care of the injured and sick, and then you can only waiting for Konoha's rescue. The next day, the Land of Fire, Konoha Village Hokage office. Tsunade looked at the classified document from Sanagakure with a shocked expression. The red lips moved slightly. How is this possible? Qiye rarely sees Tsunade showing this look. What's the matter, Hokage-sama, does something major happen to you looking like this? Qiye, who was sitting on a chair and playing with a shuriken, asked curiously. Sanagakure was attacked by Akatsuki and is now in ruins, and 4th Kazekage was killed in battle, and Jinchuriki was captured. Tsunade tells it word by word. How so? Shizune, who heard this, was also quite shocked. As one of the 5 major kingdoms, the country of wind was forced to this step by Shao. Dolphin. Puyu. Only 2 Akatsuki members invaded Sand Shinobi this time. One of them is a guy who uses strange explosives, and the other is a puppet master. Compared to Tsunade and Shizune's surprise, Qiye was quite calm. Deidara and Sasori, are they finally shot? It's interesting. Such a major event that shocked the ninja world. Qiye showed quite calmness, which surprised Tsunade. Little devil, it seems that you are not surprised. HMPH, what's so surprising? Sanagakure has tailed beasts, which is naturally Akatsuki's target. Qiye pride naturally has his proud capital. Didn't 2 Akatsuki members attack Konoha not long ago, and he killed him easily? If it was someone else, Tsunade Shizune, they would doubt its strength. But if it was Uchiha Qiye, that's how they reacted. Oh, Qiye, that's all right, because Uchiha Qiye has this capital. As an ally of the Land of Winds, Sanagakure is naturally asking for help. But the conditions they put forward surprised Tsunade again. The Land of Wind is willing to become a vassal of the Land of Fire. What does that mean? Advertisement. This means that the country of the wind can be removed from the 5 kingdoms of the ninja world. As long as the country of fire wants to change the country of wind to the country of gold, the country of sand can be. Their Sanagakure is also under the control of Konoha. And whether the country of wind is one of the 5 kingdoms depends entirely on the meaning of the country of fire. Little devil, do you think we're going to help Tsunagakure take back one-tailed Jinchuriki? Tsunade looked at Qiye expectantly and wanted to hear Kai's opinion. But Qiye didn't care about this at all and ignored it. You're Hokage, you can figure it out for yourself. Che, what a boring little brat, Tsunade snorted softly. As an ally of the land of fire, Konoha naturally has to take action. Otherwise, how can the country of fire gain a foothold in the ninja world? Snatch Jinchuriki and fight against Akatsuki. Before Konoha killed 2 Akatsuki members, they were already declaring war on Akatsuki. What are they afraid of this time? Rather than saying that Konoha killed 2 members of Akatsuki, it would be better to say that Qiye killed 2 members of Akatsuki directly. This is an S-rank mission, and only Jonin can perform it. 10 minutes later, several Jonin had gathered in Hokage's office. Hitaki Kakashi, Might Guy, Asuma, Shiranui Genma, Yamashiro Aoba are all here, and the torture expert Morino Hiki is also here. Tsunade briefly explained the task to them. These people were quite shocked. Unexpectedly, Tsunagakure turned into ruins overnight, and Kazekage died in Akatsuki's hands. This S-rank mission is extremely difficult. Suddenly, Asuma, Genma Shiranui, and Kakashi all looked at Uchiha Qiye in unison. They had seen the scene when Qiye fought Hidan and Kakuzu. This time, how they wish Qiye would go too. With Uchiha Qiye here, this S-rank mission is a sure bet. It seems to have seen the thoughts of several of them. Tsunade chuckled. Advisor Uchiha Qiye is not involved in this mission. You can see the lonely look on Asuma's face after hearing these words. Uchiha Qiye went, and in his eyes, the task was almost certain. If Uchiha Qiye doesn't go, then this S-class mission is a near death for them. Even Kakashi, who already possesses the power of Mangekyo Sharingan Kamui, dare not guarantee that he can complete it. Because Akatsuki's strength is too pervert, it's good to know the information. If they don't know, they're at an absolute disadvantage. The last time Kakashi, Genma Shiranui, Asuma was cornered by Kakuzu and Hidan. If it wasn't for Uchiha Qiye to come for reinforcements, they would have really been wiped out. Before they knew it, these people had become dependent on Qiye. Hey, Uchiha Qiye pretended to sigh deeply. Kakashi, this time you're on your own. Kakashi. Shiranui Schwanma, Asuma. Only guy here is confident. Hey, Kakashi, Genma, don't be so pessimistic. Men's youth is to show vitality. We haven't received such an exciting S-rank mission for a long time. It's time to show the youth of our Konoha shinobi. Scattered. Tsunade has explained the full story of the mission. With an order, Kakashi and the others dispersed, leaving only a few clouds of smoke. Little devil, don't you go and see the excitement? Tsunade asked Qiye jokingly. It's lively, there's nothing to see here, it's better to sleep comfortably at home. Qiye pouted. Tsunade pondered that this was unusual. Qiye in the past liked to do things and join in the fun. And the declaration of war sent to Shao was what Qiye asked her to issue. What Shao's members dare to step into their country of fire, see one and kill another? Tsunade said that this Haki's full declaration was made by her, and if you want to find it, you will find Uchiha Qiye. Ding, task selection. Qiye, who was just about to take a nap, was awakened by the system prompt sound in his mind. System task. The system has not issued a task to him for a long time. The rewards for completing system tasks are sometimes more generous than sleeping. It looks like this is going to happen soon. Qiye saw the task screen given by the system. Open black lens bracket system mission. Reinforce Tsunagakure, retake one-tailed Jinchuriki close black lens bracket. Choose to complete the task. Reward Yin and Yang escape. Open black lens bracket, choose abandon mission. Reward mount Myoboku Sage mode close black lens bracket. Seeing this task, Qiye was completely stunned. Dog system, you are forcing me to commit a crime. Whether you accept it or not, there is a reward for this. And these 2 rewards are not available to Uchiha Qiye at present. Sleeping will increase Kai's abilities randomly. And the reward for completing system tasks is clear and clear. If he sleeps, Qiye doesn't know if he will be able to sleep until the 2 abilities of Yin Yang escape in Sage mode. There is no doubt that this reward is indeed very attractive. Shienju can attack characters at the 6 paths level. Needless to say, this Yin and Yang escape is also the ability that Uchiha Qiye cares about most. Yin escape, representing spiritual energy, can create form in the invisible. Yangdan, on the other hand, can inject life into the body. Naruto once prevented the final outcome of 8 inner gates and saved Guy's life with Yin and Yang. Also created an eye for Kakashi. Since the reward is this, Qiye has done it. Chapter 224 Advertisement. Really, isn't this forcing people to choose? Is there still a choice here? Qiye of course chose to accept it. Immortal arts often exist, but yin and yang escapes do not often exist. Uh-huh. Qiye coughed a few times. The corners of his mouth showed a bit of Tsunade Shizun's weird smile. Hey, little devil, what the hell did you think of again? I've decided. After all, the opponent is the Shao organization. Everyone in this organization is talented, and they are all S-level rebels. Therefore, I also participate in this mission. What? Tsunade and Shizun stared at each other. Qiye said just now that he didn't want to deal with it, but his face changed in the next second. It seems that this man, too, changes his face as fast as a woman. Lies. This is definitely a lie. Will Qiye worry about the safety of Kakashi and the others? Anyway, Tsunade doesn't believe it. Okay, Lord Hokage, then I'll go first. Before waiting for Tsunade to respond, Qiye immediately disappeared in place. This kid, slipping so fast. Originally Tsunade was worried about Kakashi and the others. Now that Qiye has taken action, well, she can rest assured. In today's ninja world, Tsunade can't think of anyone who can stop Uchiha Kai's progress. Tsunade was even more sure of it when she saw Kai's full-body Susanoo. If there are ninjas who can enter the eyes of Uchiha Qiye, all Tsunade could think of was her grandfather, Senju Hashirama. But what she didn't know was that she saw Kai's strength was just the tip of the iceberg. Even the pinnacle of Senju Hashirama, the god of ninjas, can't compare to the current Uchiha Qiye. Of course, these Tsunade are naturally unaware. If Qiye was involved in this mission, Tsunade wouldn't have to worry about Sand Shinobi. As a Hokage, she can also rest a lot. Thinking of this, Tsunade showed a faint smile. No way, who made this man so reliable? In the next instant, Qiye had already appeared in the Land of Wind. This is where he fought the third Kazekage of Dirty Earth before, and the memory is still fresh. Of course, Qiye has been to Sanagakure. However, this was a few years ago, and the impression of the place is very vague, and the gods cannot use it. Besides, Sanagakure is now in ruins. Even if he had used Sharingan to engrave the picture before, it was not what it was before, and Shen Yu couldn't reach it at all. Fortunately, it is not far from Sanagakure. After a while, Qiye reached the canyon outside Sanagakure. In the past, it was guarded by ninjas, but now the outside of the canyon is extremely desolate, and there is not a single person. With a slight leap, Qiye jumped to the top of the mountain. The ruins in front of him really shocked him. Most of Sanagakure has been covered with sand. Only a few buildings are well preserved. Some tall buildings have been exposed beyond the sand. Qiye could see ninjas and villagers transporting sand. The whole Sanagakure is like being covered by a huge lid made of sand. Since the intruder is Deidara, there is no sign of an explosion around. Qiye can guess the scene of 4th Kazekage Luo Sha and Deidara fighting. Regarding the death of 4th Kazekage Luo Sha, Qiye did not have the slightest fluctuation in his heart, and even had some disdain. 4th Kazekage Luo Sha is like 3rd Hokage to a certain extent. They are both unscrupulous politicians and disgusting. Sanagakure is most famous for the hero Yi Kang incident. Yi Kang, who has the Scorch-style bloodline limit, made great achievements on the battlefield and in the mission, and became the hero of Sanagakure. Advertisement, but I never thought that it would be put together by 4th Kazekage Luo Sha and become a victim of politics again. He was deceived by Luo Sha to go to Kirigakure in the name of performing a secret mission, and died in the trap of Mist Shinobi Ninja, in exchange for peace and stability in Sanagakure. Ridiculous, utterly ridiculous. Among the ruins, several Sand Shinobi ninjas hurried to Baki. Baki-sama, Konoha's reinforcements are here. Coming. Baki froze in place. The news of their help was only sent yesterday. The reinforcements from Konoha have arrived today? The block doesn't have to be so fast, right? Did the other party come earlier? How many people are there in Konoha's reinforcements? The Anbu ninja, gasping for breath. One. The other has only one, calling himself Uchiha. Uchiha? Baki's eyes narrowed, and he was quite shocked. Is it him? Come on, the reinforcements with Konoha come here. After a few breaths, Baki saw Kai's figure at a glance. Overjoyed in my heart. It can't be wrong, it really is him. When Qiye and Asuma came to Sanagakure on a mission together, 4th Kazekage Luosha and Baki had hosted them. Uchiha Qiye even helped Kazekage deal with Shukaku's riot. The villagers and ninjas of Sanagakure thought it was the 4th Kazekage Luosha who suppressed the rebellion of Shukaku. Little did they know the real reason was that Uchiha Qiye reached out. Of course, such secrets are only known to the higher-ups like Baki. Master Qiye, I didn't expect you to come so quickly. When Konoha's reinforcement ninja arrives, it means that the Land of Wind has decided to become a vassal of the Land of Fire. Then the current Uchiha Qiye is also Baki's superior. Qiye patted the sand and ash stained on his body. I came here without a saddle, and Konoha has 6 elite Jonin reinforcements. They won't arrive until tomorrow. Well, thank you Mr. Qiye. Baki, tell me about the situation. Qiye and this group of sand shinobi didn't chat too much and went straight to the point. Baki explained the general situation again. Qiye is also basically clear. Unexpectedly, Temari and Kankuro were poisoned by Sasori. Sand Shinobi's medical ninja said that without an antidote, he would die in 3 days. With the current situation of Sanagakure, there is no antidote at all. Since Qiye is here, it's not a problem. Slept with Tsunade for so long. Even ninja art. Meiotic regeneration is a secret technique, not to mention medical ninjutsu. When Tsunade learned from information that Sand Shinobi had an unknown poison in ninjas, he wanted to send Shizune there. Qiye refused, saying that such a simple matter can be left to him. Master Qiye can also medical ninjutsu? Well, I'm a direct disciple of 5th Hokage, and my medical ninjutsu is better than blue. This time, Baki seemed to see hope. Temari and Kankuro were saved. Qiye followed Baki and the others to one of the few complete buildings. Temari and Kankuro were lying on the bed, their faces turning purple and looking extremely distressed. Kai's black pupils turned into scarlet 3-tomo Sharingan. Going forward, he placed his left and right hands on Kankuro's and Temari's foreheads. Baki and the others were not medical ninjas, so they didn't know what Qiye was doing, so they didn't dare to ask. About 5 minutes later, Qiye withdrew his hands and briefly woke up. That, Mr. Qiye, how are the 2 of them, and what kind of herbal antidote is needed, just say. Qiye gave Baki a suspicious look. What is the antidote but not the antidote, it's alright. Advertise me chapter 225 advertisement the antidote? Qiye said casually, do you need that kind of thing? It's alright. Is it okay? Baki froze in place. The other Sand Shinobi ninjas are staring. Naturally it is possible. Otherwise, how could Qiye say that the blue is better than the blue? His medical ninjutsu treats patients. Just one word, fast. Ahhhhh. Temari and Kankuro on the hospital bed whispered softly, and their closed eyes slowly opened. The pale and painful complexion became quite easygoing, and gradually turned bloody. Uchiha Qiye said yes, that's true. Seeing Temari and Kankuro awake, Baki and the others beamed with joy. God, Master Kai's medical ninjutsu is really divine. Yes, as expected of the medical ninjutsu I learned from Hokage-sama. All of a sudden, everyone not only touted Uchiha Qiye, but also Tsunade by the way. The 2 of them are still in the recovery stage, and they will be fine in a few days of quiet cultivation. Thank you, Mr. Qiye. Thank you, Mr. Qiye. When Kankuro and Temari woke up, a big stone in Baki's heart finally fell. The only thing he's worried about now is Gaara. This is also the last wish of 4th Kazekage Luo Sha. The huge sand wall caused Sanagakure more architectural damage. The ninjas and villagers hardly suffered any casualties. They Sanagakure had recovered a lot after the 3rd Ninja War, and now they have suffered a heavy blow from Akatsuki. Having a tailed beast is a mistake. Qiye clapped her hands. Okay, the patient has recovered, so I'll go to Shao. 7. Master Qiye, how many ninjas do you need, just say. No, I can do it alone. This? Baki and others can't believe it, but the other party is Akatsuki. He had seen Qiye suppress one tail, but at that time there was also 4th Kazekage Luo Sha to assist. And now, Qiye would have to face 2 S-class rebels if he went alone. 4th Kazekage Luo Sha was defeated by the opponent. Also, Jinchuriki Gaara was captured alive. This is enough to explain Akatsuki's horror. And Qiye said he wanted to go alone. This is a bit too much. Master Qiye, are you afraid that our Sand Shinobi ninja will hold you on your back? Don't worry, I will let Elite Jonin go with you. Baki is going to be in charge of the big picture in Sanagakure, and naturally he can't get away. In Sanagakure, officials older than Baki belong to the 2 reclusive old men. But they have completely ignored Sanagakure's business. It's Chiyo's mother-in-law and sister-in-law. Sanagakure's survival has nothing to do with them. At the moment, in the entire Sanagakure, only Baki can take charge of the overall situation. Laggards? Qiye nodded without thinking. This is indeed the case. And they can't keep up with their speed. If you use Shenyu with a burden, isn't that making trouble for yourself? Uchiha Qiye directly admitted the matter. Baki has a black line on his face. Then, Mr. Qiye, don't be in such a hurry to take back the one tail, or you can rest for a while, and it's not too late for Konoha's comrades to come along. Baki knows that Qiye is Konoha's ninja. He must have a tacit understanding with Konoha's ninjas in terms of performing tasks. The cooperation will be in place, at least he will be relieved. You Kakashi and the others, they're going tomorrow. Before Baki and the others could react, Qiye disappeared in front of them. Several other Sand Shinobi ninjas looked at each other. Master Baki, Do you think Master Qiye is really okay? You ask me, who do I ask, but Master Qiye has such self-confidence, of course he can. When Kankuro and Temari woke up, their minds were still blurry. Who saved us? You too, it's really disturbing. If it wasn't for Uchiha Qiye with Konoha, you wouldn't be alive tomorrow night. Uchiha Qiye? Both Temari and Kankuro were impressed. I saw Qiye a few years ago when they came to their Sanagakure for a mission, and they saw off Qiye, Asuma and the others together with 4th Kazekage Luo Sha. Naturally, Temari needn't say more, she is a face control, and her impression of handsome guys is unforgettable. In the desert, Deidara and Sasori were still swaying slowly. They have come a long way from Sanagakure. Seal-tailed beasts must start with one tail, so this Jinchuriki they captured is the first step in the organization's plan. Deidara, who pursues art, knows to catch tailed beasts. Knowing the purpose, planning or whatever, he didn't take it to heart. Brother Sasori, Jinchuriki is weak, I think you took this kid easily. No, this kid is very strong, I didn't do it easily. The current Gaara is 11 years old. Because of the shortage of ninjas in the village, he has become a genin of Sand Shinobi ahead of time. Advertisement: the strength is not weak, some jonin of Sanagakure are not as good as him. Ahhhhh. Deidara gave a long yawn. Sasori senpai, what did the leader say Akatsuki's purpose at that time? I forgot. HMPH, how can a guy like you who only knows that art is an explosion can care about other things? There was a hint of tsunere in Sasori's words. The first stage of the organization's goal is to make money, and this has always been handled by Kakuzu. It's a pity that the two zombie groups Kakuzu and Hidan died in the Land of Fire. The money of the organization is handled by Konan. If Kakuzu knew that Konan bought 600 billion detonating charms, wouldn't he cry and faint in the toilet? Sasori's magnetic voice continued. The second stage of the organization is to use the money to build a war-hire organization in the ninja world. Having experienced this second stage of development, Akatsuki at that time was the most powerful being in this world. Even if the 5 countries of wind, fire, thunder, water, soil and water unite, Akatsuki is not afraid at all. Then the third stage is to conquer the ninja world. Sasori spoke to Deidara word by word. Deidara almost fell asleep. He doesn't care about these goals and plans, all he cares about is his art. When he joined Akatsuki, he was defeated by Itachi's power. Each of Akatsuki is a unique art to Deidara. Akatsuki is an art group, and Deidara has always thought so. Suddenly, Sasori stopped. Brother Sasori, what's the matter? Can't walk, I already said it, it's time to use my clay Asuka. When leaving Sanagakure, Deidara flew Sasori and Gaara with clay birds for a while. Now that Sand Shinobi's pursuers won't come after them, they just walk. Anyway, the leader didn't urge them to play as much as they could. But this time Sasori stopped because he couldn't walk anymore. Deidara, haven't you noticed yet? Sasori's tone became somewhat cautious. Someone. I saw Deidara's face condensed and threw a small clay bird directly to his right. Boom, a loud noise followed, and the dust flew up. Deidara, your moves are too conspicuous. This is art, Sasori senpai. The smoke cleared, and a young figure appeared in front of Deidara and Sasori, Uchiha Qiye. Boy, who are you? Qiye is Konoha's Hokage advisor, so there is no need to wear a forehead protector. He never wore a Konoha forehead protector. Forehead protector will only affect his appearance. Qiye didn't answer Sasori's words directly, and pointed to the Gaara wrapped around the tail of Hiryu Amber. That kid, I want it. What? Deidara made a megaphone gesture with her right hand to her ear. With a mocking look. Boy, what did you say? Deidara has never seen anything so funny growing up. The prey that I had finally captured was brought up by a boy I didn't know and said he wanted it. What Sasori captures is what he captures. After all, he also played the role of containment. Hold down 4th Kazekage, Rosa, credit, hard work, it's all there. And a boy they didn't know suddenly appeared in front of them and pretended to be bitter. Of the opponents Deidara has faced, he has only lost to Uchiha Itachi. But Uchiha Itachi isn't as cool as the guy in front of him. Qiye smiled. To be honest, I don't want to fight with you, but that kid from One-Tail Jinchuriki, I want it. Ha ha ha. Sasori was silent, but Deidara laughed. It was the funniest joke he had ever heard. After a day's rest, Deidara's stamina and chakra have recovered almost. There is such an ignorant boy in front of me, it seems that I want to show him my art. Anyone who has seen my art will never be so arrogant. Except that man. The man Deidara was talking about was, of course, Uchiha Itachi. Uchiha's Sharingan left a deep psychological shadow on him. In this regard, his eyes are also equipped with cameras, and he has developed new moves. It's just to deal with Sharingan's illusion, and use the new technique to get rid of shame. Deidara, be careful, this kid is not easy, can quietly appear within 10 meters of the two of them. Sasori has been on the alert for Uchiha Qiye. He didn't make a rash move just to see Kai's motives. Now Sasori's motives are clear, it's to grab Jinchuriki. One person? Sasori knows Sanagakure's ninja fairly well. From the point of view of dress, Qiye doesn't look like Sanagakure's ninja. Boy, aren't you Sand Shinobi's ninja? Do you know who we are and dare to come alone? Yeah, boy, we're not busy. You'll die very badly if you suddenly appear in front of us. Deidara agreed. For some reason, this young man suddenly appeared in front of him. Sasori's heart was always tensed, his attention was more concentrated than ever before, and he didn't dare to make a rash move. Qiye crossed his arms in front of his chest. Fine, I'm not busy, Deidara, Sasori, we can have a good chat.